Welcome back to the channel. This is Movie Readings, where I take movie scripts and movie screenplays, sometimes even movie scriptments, and I read the entire thing right here on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe, as 95+% of my viewers are not subscribed. Without further delay, this is Bad Boys from 1994. We fade in on Miami. The sun might be down, but the city is baking. Waves of heat ascend into the sky, while an unmarked van navigates across the street. The driver is Eddie Dominguez, and riding in the passenger seat is a man dressed in black called Fouché. He looks to the rear. What's taking so long back there? In the back of the van, where the rest of the gang waits, with Casper, all dressed in black, for Andy. He stands and shows his English is poor, yet he's got a long grin on his face. How do I look? Like the real thing, yeah? Step back and let me get a good look at you. Through the rear-view mirror, Eddie can watch the action. Andy steps further to the rear, almost to the door, facing the front. Tell me about your assignment, Andrew. I'm the decoy. Right you are. Over the seat, Fouché reveals a shotgun. Boom! Andy's body is blown through the rear doors as the van turns a corner. He dials 911 on his cell phone. Fouché sounds distressed. Please help! I just saw a policeman shot. Send help! Hurry! I'm at the corner of... Near downtown, a stream of PD cars haul past, lights blazing and sirens on full. Colony Hotel, South Beach. Crowds moving up and down Ocean Boulevard. Beautiful people walking. Beautiful people watching. Music blends from nightclub to nightclub. A police radio holstered to the hip of a street cop. It crackles with, "Report of an officer down. Be advised, all units, corner of Lennox and Taylor." Slipping by the street cop, intro Marcus Burnett and Mike Lowry. They shimmy through the hotel doors. The buffed desk manager gets off the phone to greet the effeminate pair. Good evening, I'm Mike. And I'm Marcus. We're looking for a couple of our Latin friends who checked in a little while ago. You might remember them? No chest hair and packing. I'm sorry, but our guest list is private. Oh, didn't they say there's going to be a party? It's BYOBO. The BO stands for baby oil. Maybe you can come. Get off after you get off? All three of them laugh. Now that you mention it, they were kind of cute. Sweet 202. Lowry and Burnett clip on their shields and unholster their guns. The posing is over. This is business. On the table are two briefcases, each opened, one containing cocaine, the other cash, a pistol next to each. Reveal the dealers. Two young Dominicans seated across from the TV, getting high, drinking beer, and laughing out loud at the Spanish-language version of Time Tracks. Then, bang! The door is kicked in, and Lowry is first through, Burnett on backup. Police! On the floor! But the dealers split, rolling out of their chairs. One goes left, the other right. Lowry tackles the first dealer to the floor. A Latina girl screams. Lowry unfortunately looks and takes a hard fist across the ear from the dealer. Angered, Lowry swings his pistol up underneath the perp's jaw and knocks him through the bathroom door. Lowry cuffs him to the sink. Meanwhile, Burnett is in trouble. He's still got his gun in hand, but the other dealer has him pinned underneath the legs of a chair. Lowry! Burnett stomps the bad guy's instep. The guy buckles. Burnett rolls away and stands in front of a window, just in time to see the angry Dominican heading straight for him. Burnett and the other dealer come crashing out onto the balcony, then over onto an awning, rolling off onto some occupied cafe tables. Patrons scatter. Uniformed cops move in to assist. Lowry appears soon after, walking down the hotel steps, leading the Latina in cuffs and wearing his jacket. Burnett, scraped, bruised, and pissed. "Hey, nice backup." "What?" We tilt up as police helicopters fly overhead. An opening titles run and music pounds. We fly over the causeways, waterways, and hotels that line the beach. Something is happening in the balmy city as we cruise downtown and zero in on the helicopter roars low over the rooftops of Miami's oldest police station, towards the Causeway Bridge. As the helicopter passes over, Fouché appears behind a large exhaust port. Casper, Ferguson, and Noah behind him, all wearing high-tech miners' helmets with built-in radio sets and an array of high-tech tools. It's time. The team crosses the roof to a huge air conditioning unit. They climb inside, carrying a 6-foot-long metal case and what looks like a big black scuba tank. Though it's windy and cramped in here, at least it's cool. From a prone position, Fouché puts on his night vision goggles and reveals a palm-top computer. Quickly, he scrolls through the labyrinth schematics loading onto the unit. Tilt down to see various ducts. Endless, bottomless. But clearly, Fouché is a man who knows his way. The police station is seemingly empty. We have series of shots from squad rooms to locker rooms to booking. Officer Bill Opie, 50s, reads a magazine and drinks coffee. Video monitors in front of him show the different lockers inside the evidence room. We see one room with stacks upon stacks of heroin. The team, attached to cables, slide into the building's guts and disappear. Static crackles. We're in. Start the video. Cooney finds the conduit he's looking for. He splices it and cuts into it with a Makita battery-powered circular saw, then attaches a handheld Hi-8 video machine and starts the video feed. The unit is strapped to the conduit. The monitors flutter and then stabilize in the guard station. Turning the page, Opie sugars his coffee. An air vent smashes to the floor in the trash chute room. 2 guys pull the metal case inside the room. Bang! The evidence room, another air conditioning vent grate crashes to the floor. Their headlights blazing, 2 men clamber into the cavernous room, Fouché along with Casper. This is the special drug-holding room. The lock cuts like butter and the steel door is yanked open. $100 million in heroin. Each kilo brick is stamped with a distinctive octopus logo. Fouché. Where's Deputy Dog? He made us. Then do him now. Sure enough, as Opie stands from his desk, Ferguson is in the vent above him, waiting with an air-powered tranquilizer gun. He cuts loose a single round that strikes Opie at the base of the neck. Opie stops, but before he can think to reach back at what hit him, his knees buckle and he drops to the linoleum, out cold. One by one, Ferguson moves backwards through various levels of locks, torching each to look as if they've entered the evidence room from inside the PD station. Meanwhile, Noah removes what looks like a flattened bobsled with large urethane wheels from a metal case and places it inside the air shaft. Ferguson attaches the black scuba tank, labeled nitrous oxide, to a valve. This is connected to a metal-cased cable system that is piston-gunned into the floor. Fouché and Casper moving the stacks of heroin, placing them in the air duct on the bobsled. Once they're done, we hear radio garble. Then, the sled is cabled to the contraption. A button is pushed, and the sled is pulled at breakneck speed through the duct. Bag after bag drops down the trash chute and tumbles into an open-roofed van where the last of the gang, Eddie Dominguez, waits with the engine running. The sled rockets by again, whoosh, loaded with more bags. Casper and Fouché throw the last of their gear down the chute and ride the sled out. 1, 2, 3, 4. They all land atop the bags. Eddie guns the van, which rolls up the ramp and out the garage. Haul ass! In an alleyway beside the police station, on the ledge, the tape runs out and the recorder explodes. Pieces shatter. The van drives off into the golden sunrise of Miami. We cut to one of those expensive condo buildings on Brickell Avenue, with a circular driveway and a uniformed doorman. The camera tracks through expensive and trendy bachelor's lair. State-of-the-art everything. Gorgeous artwork, spectacular view. The camera stalls on a permaplacked newspaper clipping, with a photo depiction of Lowry and Burnett in front of a giant pile of black heroin. Thumbs up to the camera. The headline reads, Miami PD records record heroin bust. Lowry wakes up in a king-sized bed. The pain on his face and empty, scattered bottles tell us he's nursing a world-class hangover. He sits up carefully, holding his aching head. Hearing breathing, Lowry lifts the sheet next to him. He reveals the Latina from the Colony Hotel. He drops the sheet back over her head and reaches over to his nightstand to grab an industrial-sized bottle of Excedrin, empty. He opens the nightstand drawer and extracts another bottle, also empty. All marble and brass bathroom. Lowry opens up his medicine cabinet. Locating a new bottle of aspirin, he suddenly realizes that the shower is running. Confused, he pulls open the shower curtain slightly. From the back, it's an incredible body, and then she turns around, and it's the Latina. Yes, the very same one he saw in the bed. What? Morning. Lowry closes the curtain on her. He frowns at this impossibility. He steps back into the doorway and peers over at his bed. Yup, same face. Twins? He shakes his head. He tears open the bottle of aspirin and chug-a-lugs. At the Burnett household, Burnett and his young wife Teresa are jarred awake by the clock radio blaring on the nightstand. Teresa gropes for the radio and shuts it off. Burnett playfully gropes for her. Marcus, what are you doing? We're always saying we should spend more quality time together. Well, I got the time, and you got the quality. She laughs, and he kisses her. I can remember when we used to do it every morning. That's how we got a 3-bedroom house filled with little Burnetts. She crawls from the bed. It's been over a week since I've had some quality time. It's pandemonium in the Burnett's kitchen. There's 2.5-year-old Megan, who takes a bite of food and spits it back out, looking at it, and then puts it back in. 6-year-old Jill, who's playing refrigerator magnet games on the fridge. Marcus is in the middle of it all, deftly sidestepping his 8-year-old boy Quincy, who appears on rollerblades, whizzing through with a hockey stick and ball. He body checks Jill against the icebox. Mom, Quincy pushed me. Uncle Mike showed me that move. Quincy, never you mind, and take those things off in the house. Jill, stop with the book and eat your breakfast. Then, exasperated, Marcus, why do I always have to discipline the kids? You play bad cop for a second. Alongside the kitchen screen door, we see Lowry's Porsche roar to a stop in the driveway. Kids, knock it off, or your mom's gonna whoop your butts. Teresa laughs in spite of herself as the kids continue to fight. Into this craziness enters Mike Lowry. Ah, family life. Reminds me why I stay single. Uncle Mike, Uncle Mike! Hiya, kids. Morning, Teresa. Lowry pecks Teresa on the cheek. She recoils. Don't kiss me, Lowry. I don't know where those lips were last night. Tell us some stories, Uncle Mike. You know, the one about the stewardess. Don't go telling my son about your sleazy sex life. I promise, Teresa, I only tell your husband about my sleazy sex life. The telephone rings. I don't want him knowing about it either. Gives him ideas. She answers the phone. Hello? Oh, sure. Which one of them do you want? Lowry accepts the phone from Teresa and talks. You're live with Lowry. He listens for a long beat. Excuse me, Captain. I think you mean to say, get the fuck down here, please. Burnett automatically pulls on his jacket, hugs the children as Lowry hangs up. Not so fast. You were going to take the kids to school today, remember, hon? I have a job interview. Lowry rolls his eyes. Burnett's following Lowry and his kids out the front door when his neighbor Dick accosts him from across the hedge. Hey, Marcus, did you know we got busted into again last night? When are you going to do something about this? Hey, Dick, how many times I got to tell you? I don't work robbery. I'm in narcotics. Meanwhile, Lowry is holding the car door open as the kids pile in the jump seat in the back. Don't get your sticky fingers all over my windows and keep your feet off the seats. I just had the leather conditioned. The kids ignore him, gleefully continuing to squirm around. Before Burnett can get into the car, Teresa runs out. Marcus, I need you to stop at Savemore on the way home and pick up exactly what's on the list. She hands Burnett a long list. Oh, baby. Damn. Lowry shakes his head. Lowry and Burnett pull up in the Porsche to Miami PD. Lowry and Burnett walking. Twins? If I'm lying, I'm dying. Her sister came down and posted the girl's bail. And later, man, talk about special effects. What special effects? Tell you later. Morning, Francine. Where's the smile? Francine is a civilian employee of the narcotics unit. She's got pictures of her children parked around her computer desktop. And though dowdy would be a compliment, she's usually got a pleasant smile for the boys. Except today. Evidence room, Howard's waiting for you. Your kids are looking sharp, Francine. She smiles. Burnett and Lowry know there's a big problem when, at the bottom of the stairwell, the first thing they see is yellow police tape and a fingerprint team dusting a torched lock. The problem is, the building is nothing but cops, and it looks as if the entire department is stomping all over the evidence room. Let's see, there's sleepy, grumpy, sneezy, happy, bashful. Now who could we be missing? Could it be Dopey? Both laugh hysterically, while, if it ain't the leftovers from Miami Vice, fashion casualties lost somewhere in the 80s. Oh, and the women really go for that. Really, they do. As Burnett and Lowry duck the tape, they note a very groggy O.F. over in the corner, being attended by a paramedic team. He's still out cold. An oh shit look passes between the two partners. Another torched lock noted as Burnett and Lowry enter with Sanchez and Ruiz behind them. The room is empty. Captain Howard appears. He's short, has a military haircut, has a minor Napoleon complex, and a major in paranoia. Nice of you to roll in. And nothing particular is going on around here except maybe your dope is gone. That's right, the biggest dope bust in the history of this department up and walked out of this locker along with maybe my job and the two of yours if we don't get the shit back. This can't be happening. So here's what we're going to do. Since it was originally your case, You two guys are on point. Sanchez and Ruiz, you've backed them up with whatever they need. Groans all around. So I guess we should start with the CIs and perps from the original case. But hell if I know any dope dealers with the balls to pull this off. They're either dead or in the lockup pending trial. How's Ophi? Oh, he'll be just fine. From the side appears an internal affairs suit named Sinclair. He circles close to Burnett and Lowry, waving his cigar as he speaks. The name is Sinclair, Internal Affairs. He's our new proctologist. You see, what's got me confused is why risk leaving a witness? Why not kill Ophi instead? Because maybe this guy knows if you kill a cop, the whole department will get up your ass hard and fast. And who knows that better than anyone else? Cops. You're not saying this was an inside job. Cops wouldn't pull this shit. Not just cops. Narcotic cops. For example, the SND. You've got access. You've got the wherewithal. And most importantly, you've got the connections. Who else would know how to unload $100 million worth of heroin? Hey, fuck you and your cheap off-the-rack suit. Enough IAs in it, and there's nothing we can do about it. If any of this leaks, the shit is gonna hit our biggest fan. Remember him, the mayor? He created us, and you can bet your jobs, boys, he'll rip us into little cop pieces. I figure we have 72 hours to find the dope and keep our jobs. Nothing like a little old-fashioned incentive. Burnett walks to the center of the room and kneels to those 4 bolt holes in the floor. He fingers the paraffin filler and then looks above to the air conditioning grate. What about the air conditioning? What about it? To Lowry. What do you think? I think you should go ahead, crawl up and give it a second look. Why me? For one, it was your idea. 2, while my suit is fresh, you're dressed for the occasion. Don't say nothing about my clothes. I paid for these. And I don't? Not on a cop's salary. Burnett crawls up with some help from Lowry below, stalling the oscillating fan with his cuffs and crawling through. The first thing Burnett notices are the track marks from the bobsled cutting through a coating of dust. Anything? Yeah, I've got some weird track marks in here. Burnett notes a manufacturing stamp at the joint. It reads, Orana Air Conditioning Systems, Inc. Howard appears from below, framed in the vent shaft. Nice and cool up there, Burnett. Comfy? Maybe there's a new career for you in building maintenance. Lowry and Burnett with their desks opposite each other. The camera circles while they lay the arm on some informants. There's going to be a lot of cash when the dope hits the street. We want you to put the word out through your bank and hustle the account. You help us, maybe we can see about getting those RTC auditors off your ass. Listen, Cedras, you and I both know you're the #1 importer for the Simona brothers, and I'm telling you, there's a buttload of H on the move. Someone's going to want to stick their dick in it. So it better not be yours. You hear something? You call us. You hear nada? You better get the fuck out of town. Lowry is driving in an unmarked car with no seatbelt, doing his usual speed weaving. Burnett is hanging onto the handle above the door. Not a fucking lead. So now that we've done the obvious, we need a shortcut. Okay, we talked to Max. Not this time. I'm tired of you working pussy into everything we do. You got a better idea? Lowry and Burnett arrive at the unmarked car. One colorful stucco Congress gym, fading and crumbling. Scrappy Cuban fighters spar and work out on the aging equipment, while at the same time, a remarkable amount of amazing-looking women work out on weight bags, shadow box with trainers, curves and sweat any way you look. Burnett and Lowry enter. While Lowry cruises amongst the sweaty flesh as if it were a day in the park, Burnett lags. Maybe he has been married too long. Max Logan is doing sit-ups on an inclined bench. She notices Lowry. "Hi, Mike. You come to work out?" "Rain check, darling. Gotta talk. Any place we can go?" "Equipment room." "Hiya, Marcus. How's your wife?" "Huh?" "That's what I thought." This room isn't closed. It's walled by wire mesh. Private enough, though. Max shuts the door. "Sorry to come around only when I need something." "Forget about it. I owe you the rest of my life, Mike." Lowry just gives her an "oh please" look. "Don't be looking at me like I'm getting all sentimental." "Hey, I didn't open my mouth. Listen, there's some major ill shit happening down at the PD. A lot of heroin involved. There's gonna be a lot of cash involved, too. Gonna be some happy motherfuckers around that wanna party. So you want me to check around? Just make a couple calls, see what's what. Don't be doing no wild shit. Just call me if you hear something." Burnett is surrounded by beautiful, sweaty women. One of them is a fabulous black woman, with legs so long and toned, they're not just legs, they're weapons. Burnett can't help but stare. "Who's Max's friend?" "A cop." "Ooh, I love cops." The other girls are all suddenly interested too. Burnett swallows. "You know, I'm a cop. I shot somebody last week. Didn't kill him. Just shot him in the ass." Stone cold looks from them all. They all walk away with Burnett giving the "what did I say" look. Lowry appears. "You know, that was real smooth. Think you could do that again?" As they start walking. "Oh, I tell you, when the wife gets meaner, the grass gets greener." "Green ain't the color I was thinking of. More of a cocoa puff. Just real shiny, thick." As they head towards their car, Burnett's beeper sounds. He switches it off. "Damn! The woman's got a fucking radar on my ass. Sensed me looking at another woman. I bet she wants me to pick up Huggies instead of those baby garanimals that they wear. I don't think anybody could be that married." Burnett drives cautiously in an unmarked police car while both he and Lowry bob to the Ice-T's Cop Killer. They get a kick out of the song. Lowry: "Miami's the perfect town for you, Burnett. You drive like a 107-year-old lady with her turn signal on. And I plan on living to be old just like 'em, rubbing Ben Gay on my joints and everything." An old guy passes them, even though his car is pulling an Airstream camper behind it. Lowry can't believe it. "You're gonna let every old motherfucker pass you, or just the ones with big-ass trailers dragging behind? Accelerate!" "I don't have a death wish like you. I got a family that counts on me, a mortgage to pay, and I'm not saying it's me, but most of the guys in the station think you're some rich kid playing cop." "Who said that?" Burnett mumbles an answer. "If someone's talking about me, I want to know. Man, I'm so sick of this. I don't apologize for nothing I do. I get up early, I take it to the max every day. I'm always the first guy through the door, and the last guy to leave a crime scene. So fuck 'em all. I could give a shit what those boot-licking, brown-nosing, ass-kissing motherfuckers think of Mike Lowry." What can Burnett say to all that but, "I love you, man." He lets loose a big grin. "Oh, fuck you, Marcus." The radio crackles. 2-1, I've got that address for you on the air conditioning company. Oh, and Teresa called. She added something to your grocery list. Muppets toothpaste, bubblegum flavor. She says Quincy doesn't like mint." Lowry rolls his eyes and glances at Burnett, who's embarrassed. "Yeah, roger that. Give me the address. Arona's been working out of his house. He's at..." Burnett and Lowry step from their unmarked car and step up the steps to this stony, estate-sized house. The air conditioning business has been good to Arona. Lowry rings the bell. They wait. No answer. Well, we can leave a note, or we can break and enter. Wait, hear that? I think I heard Arona beating his wife. Lowry kicks the door in. Uh-oh, no alarm. Aw, man, did you cut one? No, man, must have been you. Not me. Lowry and Burnett look at each other and draw guns. Dead guy. The door is unlocked and swings open easily to reveal Lowry and Burnett in an instant, repulsed reaction to Arona's body, which sits upright in his office chair, the body grotesque and bloated. Now what? A sickened Burnett goes over to the body, speaking to Arona as if he were alive. Where are the drugs? Where are the drugs? He ain't saying nothing. He must be guilty of something. Meanwhile, Lowry's got no problem with the dead body. He tries opening a desk drawer, but Arona's rigor mortis stiffened knee is in the way, so Lowry gives it a shove and the chair swivels. Arona's dead arm sweeps the lamp off the desk. Whoa! Watch where you're swinging them arms, Arona. You're gonna fuck up your own crime scene. Lowry braves the body and gingerly pokes around his pockets. Watch what you touch. That's evidence. Not touching. Browsing. Mr. Arona, you've got the right to remain silent. Anything you say, surprise the shit out of us. Anything? He finds a small notepad. Jai Alai. Dog track. Lot of bookies. Phone numbers. Let me guess. Guy does air conditioning contract for the PD. He'd have the plans. He trades the plans for his paper and gets popped by the perps. Works for me. Now can we go? I'm gonna puke. A Palm Beach-styled antique manor. As antique as the exterior, Lois Field's manor is well tended. Lots of potted ferns amongst rattan and craftsman-era furniture. Enter Lois. Matronly. In her flowered dress and bare feet, she carries a tea tray toward the kitchen. Max is following. Please, Lois, make some calls, that's all. I'm looking for a party with fresh cash. I'm not doing any favors for Mike Lowry. Then call it a favor for me, please. Okay then, I'll make the calls, but you have to talk to Julie. I'll talk to her, but she's not into it. All you have to say is that she'll be getting paid for what she already does for free. And she'll say, there's one big difference. I do it for fun. I don't ever have to blow anyone I don't like. The front door swings open to reveal Julie Mott, 24, just as beautiful as Max and dressed to be undressed. She drops one of those big model's shoulder bags to the floor and gazes curiously back at Lois and Max. Her ears are burning. Okay, so what did I miss? The Biltmore Hotel, Miami Beach, bustles with activity. Cabs pull up. Doormen, bellhops, rich people. As Max and Julie walk through the courtyard at dusk, George? Bad moods after a bad round of golf. I had blonde hair then. What about Ronnie? Sex addict, coke addict, redhead. You were a redhead? Only for 2 days. It wasn't even a phase. Okay, Mark? Oh, bad loser, and bad blonde. Farrah, frosted kinda big bad blonde. Max laughs. But that's my point. I remember my hair phases more than I remember the men. Playful, sarcastic. So, a party in Biltmore Hotel Suite? Yeah, that'll really rock. It's a favor for a friend. If it sucks after a half hour, we'll split and head to South Beach. A favor? You know, my friend Mike Lowry. She rolls her eyes. Mike Lowry? Not again. Will you just have sex with men and get it over with? He's just a friend. Yeah, right. You're in love. It's never gonna happen. I'm great at turning lovers into friends, but turning friends into lovers, I can't do. Well, I don't date cops. They never have enough money, and they're always too tired to screw. Well, I've told you before, my Mike isn't like that. If I were in real trouble, Mike Lowry is the only person I would call. Upon arrival to Al Capone's suite, the door is opened to Max and Julie by Eddie Dominguez, instantly recognizable from the heist. Eddie pours champagne into a glass. Max, my little Karina, it's been a long time. And who's your friend? Eddie, Julie. Julie sizes him up. His suit, good taste. His personality, bad taste. Come on, Julie, come on in, Max. Welcome to the Al Capone Suite. They've stepped into a grand, opulent suite. High arched ceilings, magnificent antique furniture, killer view. No party guests. I'm not kidding. Capone had the place fixed up with secret passages and hidden stairways. Can you dig it? People were actually killed within these walls. He's moved behind them and reveals a concealed staircase that rises into darkness. Julie is not happy. Stuck at the Biltmore with a Scarface wannabe. She looks over at Max. Let's get out of here. Excuse me, I need to use that bathroom. Julie crosses to the bathroom. Wow, Maxie, I thought you dropped off the edge of the earth and died. Either that, or you moved to California. So, Eddie, looks like we're way too early. How's about we come back later? No, don't get yet. We can party, just us three. Look at what Eddie's got to play with. From underneath the couch, Eddie reveals a single key of heroin. Max tries to hide recognition, and she has just hit pay dirt on the very first try. Julie is silently cursing Max for getting her into this lame-ass party when she hears muffled voices outside the bathroom. Instinctively, Julie peers through the louvered shades. She sees Eddie opening the door to Fouché. Casper and Noah follow him inside. Eddie is instantly nervous in the presence of Fouché. Who's the girl, Eddie? Just a hooker. My name's Max. Outstretched hand. I'm just a friend. I could use a friend who looks like you. Turn around, let me get a good look. Max tries to size this man, and then chooses to submit. She does her best model's turn, slowly giving him a view of the rear, when Fouché draws a pistol. Max tumbles forward and crashes through a glass table. Julie is in horror. Julie just saw Max killed and retreats to the opposite side of the bathroom in total fright. Now Fouché swings the gun onto Eddie. You're a fucking idiot. Hookers now? Is that my dope? Eddie is freaked. Our dope. That was the deal. Yeah, right, until we got the money. Bam! Fouché shoots Eddie in the knee. Eddie screams, You fucker! I have 4 more days until I make the deal. When it's done, you get your money. Now what part don't you understand? Hey man, you need me. I don't need anybody. I got 3 little angels looking over my shoulder. Fouché unloads 3 more shots. Blood spatters onto Casper. Aw man, you got blood on my new suit. Ever hear of dry cleaning? Now shut the fuck up and check for the rest of my dope. Half panicked, half trying to keep her head, there's no way out of the bathroom. All Julie can do is switch off the light. Now she sees Casper's shadow as he approaches. As the doorknob turns, Julie suddenly reaches for it and pulls open the door with a surge. Casper stumbles in, his face hitting the hard tile with a crunch. Aiming her move, she hauls as fast as she can across the room, aiming for that secret fireplace door. Fouché wheels with his pistol and unloads the clip. Bullets are catching up, ripping up the couch and the rest of the suite. Julie dives right into the secret door. The secret passage is dark and twisting. We move with Julie as she races through it, heart in her throat. She comes upon some old metal stairs, a sliver of light at the top, and she clambers up. High atop the Biltmore, this is where the passageway leads to. A door flies open, and Julie appears on the bell tower, panicked. Wind whipped all around her, a bird flies by, startling her. Hearing the approaching thugs, Julie sprints as best she can across the Spanish tiled roof, turns to see Noah and Casper appear in the bell tower. Noah scans the roof, takes aim, and fires, but he's too far away. Julie disappears behind a rise in the roof. She steps towards the edge of the roof and quickly peers over. A huge swimming pool, 5 stories down. She weighs the options: jump or die. Noah and Casper try running across the harsh-tiled roof. Aw, now look! My fucking shoes! My fucking Italian shoes! Then Julie prays silently, takes a running start, and leaps from the roof. Slow motion as Julie flies through the air like some glamorous angel. As Julie breaks the surface with a huge splash in the pool, the water swirls as her aching body struggles to the surface. Julie breaks water like a dolphin, gasping for breath. She's dazed and confused, but alive for the moment. Fouché reaches down, picks up Max's purse, and then flicks it across the room to the defeated pair of Casper and Noah. She's a hooker. Find out who she works for. Find out where she lives. Several police cars, an ambulance, and a coroner's van are now parked in front. The lobby is awash in strobing red and blue lights. The camera pans past the crime scene personnel to find Burnett and Lowry pulling up to the scene. They get out and thread their way through the growing chaos. The Al Capone Suite is a mess. Homicide detectives are already on the scene, drawing chalk circles around casings on the floor. On the far side of the commotion, the 2 bodies have been photographed and are covered. Chief Howard is conferring with a technician who is dusting for prints. Enter Burnett and Lowry. But Sanchez and Ruiz are already on the scene. You guys watch where you're walking, or you'll fuck up the crime scene. Looks like you're already doing that. Burnett is quick to point out the trail of bloody footprints Ruiz just tracked across the carpet. We close on the champagne glass, which Julie left on the fireplace mantel. Lowry's quick to note the 2 separate shades of lipstick. 2 dead, a hood registered as Eddie Dominguez and some Jane Doe, but the table over there, covered in high-grade dope. Sound familiar? I think we just got a witness. Over here, I got 2 different shades of lipstick on the champagne glass. Meanwhile, he drops the sheet on Eddie's body and then moves over to Max. He doesn't know it's her until... Oh, Jesus, no! What you got? Burnett drops the sheet, turns and puts a protective shoulder between Lowry and the body. What? Who is it? Lowry instinctively pushes past his partner and kneels at the body. He pulls back the sheet. Right now, he could kill the shooter, then himself, in that order. Lowry's eyes well up. I should have told you to be careful. The elevator doors open, and out steps Burnett and Lowry into a lobby full of cops. Lowry goes straight to the front desk. Eddie Dominguez, I want his phone calls. He flashes a badge. You pay the bill, you can see his phone calls. I'm sorry, maybe I wasn't polite enough. With a flashing right jab, Lowry pops the snooty clerk. After the clerk finds his feet, eyes peering over the counter. I wouldn't fuck with him right now. Walking down the steps toward their car, Lowry passes the phone sheet off to Burnett. 3 calls to Lois Fields. I'm going to stop by her place and tell her a bedtime story. You can catch a ride with Howard. Lowry jumps in the car. Uh-oh. All right, you check out Lois and then check in. Replete with balcony and billowy curtains, Lois's Field Manor, the master suite. The old-styled Madame Lois Fields sits up on her bed covered in pillows and exotic stuffed animals. She thumbs an old leather-bound loose-leaf binder full of modeling photos and resumes. I'm sorry, Jimmy, but you can't have her. Shelley only models, and that's all. That's right. Like I always say, some girls do and some girls don't, and the rest you can't afford. Hello? Jimmy? Jimmy? The power is cut. Crash. The front door breaks down. Noah appears. Lowry parks the Porsche. The door is open and the deadbolt looks smashed with something heavy like a sledgehammer. Lowry pulls a radio with one hand and his pistol with the other. Into the mic. This is 21-2. I'm gonna need backup at 614 Reach Road. Lowry eases inside the darkness of the doorway. He checks the lights, but the power is off. Slipping the radio into his coat pocket, he returns with a mini flashlight and begins to clear a path, doorway by doorway, then moving up a wide stairwell. Howard is sitting at the edge of the desk while Burnett is on the phone with Teresa. Did you check parole? How about FBI or DEA? They're supposed to be compliant with our requests. And where the hell is Lowry? Following this Lois Fields lead, I just paged him. The madam? What's with this guy? It's always girls, girls, girls. As Teresa screams, No, Teresa, he wasn't talking about you. Moving through the doors of the master suite, where a light breeze blows through balcony of sheer curtains, Lowry turns ever so slowly with his flashlight, following a beat behind. The beam comes to rest on a bludgeoned body, laying on the bed amongst huge pillows and exotic stuffed animals. The telephone cord is wrapped around her neck. Lowry's closer inspection reveals Lois's client book, where an obvious page and photo have been ripped out. Julie's. Lowry goes for the phone and picks it up with his handkerchief. No dial tone. So he drops the receiver and heads out of the room, but just as he reaches the doorway, his beeper sounds. He jumps, reaches down to switch it off when, from out of the billowing curtains comes Noah, sledgehammer in hand. He swings at Lowry, who instinctively blocks and ducks as the hammer misses, crushing the banister railing. It gives under Lowry's weight, who reaches over and traps the sledgehammer, only to find one of Noah's hammy fists battering him with the ear until the rail finally gives way. Lowry falls and crashes onto a craftsman table, covered with antique picture frames. It collapses underneath him, and then, laying next to him, Lowry's radio squawks loudly. The backup cops. Pulling up now, 21-2. Give us your 20 in the residence. 21-2, do you copy? 21-2. The camera lifts to reveal that Noah has vanished. Howard can't believe his ears. Is every cop's wife such a pain in the... Teresa, I know it was my idea. I know I was the one who wanted a little quality time. It's just that this can't wait. Can I just wake you up when I get home? Lowry's phone rings, but Howard's close as he picks it up. It's about fucking time. Howard here. Julie's apartment is a small place. Typical party girl pit stop. Very little furniture, but closets overflowing with clothes, magazines, beer bottles, unmade bed. Wet and frightened, Julie scurries around with the cordless phone at her ear, locking all the doors and windows. I need to talk to Detective Lowry. He's not here. How can I help you? You can get me Detective Lowry. This isn't another paternity case, is it? No, it's a murder case. Did this happen at the Biltmore Hotel? Listen, I just saw my best friend murdered. I'm soaking wet, I'm alone, I'm scared, and I'll only talk to Mike Lowry. Don't hang up, let me find him. Hand over the phone. Paige Lowry, find out where he is. Teresa, I gotta go. Burnett hangs up and redials Lowry's pager. Lowry, battered and barely conscious, is loaded into an ambulance. His beeper sounds. Julie is so frustrated, she's about to hang up. I don't want to come downtown. I don't want police protection. If you can't give me Detective Lowry, I'm just gonna blow town. Don't leave town, please, and don't hang up. I've got Lowry right here. He just walked in. He holds the phone to Burnett. Be Lowry. I can't be Lowry. Shut up and listen. She'll only talk to Lowry. She says she's our witness. That means she's our only link to the dope. Not to mention my pension plan. So get on the phone. Burnett accepts the phone. Hand over the receiver, he does a quick Lowry impression that starts as lame and ends pretty damn convincing. Yo, you're live with Lowry. And then into the phone. Yo, you're live with Lowry. Burnett's Volvo turns onto the block. He pulls over on the opposite side of the street and parks, his car blending in with the others in the residential neighborhood. He gets out and crosses to the lobby of her building. Burnett knocks at the door. He notices his gold wedding band and hastily removes it, just as he drops it into his jacket pocket. Who's there? Mike Lowry. She stands on the other side of the door with a baseball bat, cocked and ready to fly. How do I know it's Detective Lowry? 'Cause I'm Mike Lowry. I'm a cop. You want to see my badge? Yes, I want to see it now. I'm not letting you through the fucking door until I do. Hold it up to the peephole. Burnett shows his shield. He holds it up to the peephole. Anybody can get one of those. Hey, lady, you called me, remember? On the mic, with Mike. After a beat, the door swings ajar. As Burnett enters the house, all he notices are two dogs that start yapping hysterically. He can't see her, but she can see him. From behind the door, she comes out swinging a bat. Burnett ducks, and Julie smashes the hat stand instead. What the fuck was that for? You're not Mike Lowry. What do you mean I'm not Mike Lowry? You've never even met him. I mean me. The way Max described you was different. I'm undercover. She doesn't believe him and swings the bat. Okay, I'm way undercover. Prove it. I knew her from way back. From time to time, we'd get together and mess around, Wrong. Julie swings for real, nearly taking Burnett's head off. Okay, so I exaggerated. It's a man thing. She swings again, but he's had enough. He moves quickly and catches the bat with his hand and rips it away from her. You know what? You don't want to believe me? That's fine with me. Go it alone. Burnett heads towards the open door. Julie's veneer drops as she shrinks to the floor. I saw it all. I watched him shoot her like she was nothing, trying to hold it together. Please, shut the door. You don't got any more golf clubs or bats, do you? Nothing that you can swing at me? Do you? She shakes her head. He carefully steps forward. Then let me introduce myself. I'm Mike Lowry, and I'm here to help you. You're not what I expected. Yeah? Well, neither are you. You swing like Barry Bonds. Burnett nods and crosses over to help Julie to her feet. All right, look here. I need to know if you called anybody or if you told anybody else where you are. No, nobody. Good. You got a back door? Julie nods, scoops up one of her dogs, and grabbing another modeling bag off the table. Where are we going? As she stuffs the dog into the tote. Duke! Protective custody. Pulls away. Whoa, fuck that. I'll only deal with you. Otherwise, I'll take my chances. Burnett's getting a not again look on his face when, A shotgun blast blows the front door open. Clutching the bag, Julie races around the living room. "Let's go! Luke, where's my other dog? Fuck the dog!" Burnett sees the second dog cowering in the corner, so he lunges over and scoops the dog up. As the remaining parts are kicked in from the outside, Casper, Noah, and Cooney are on the other side. Racing through the apartment toward the back door, Burnett wheels with the gun and fires just as Cooney rounds a corner with a shotgun. The room erupts with plaster spray and noise. Julie shrieks, and Burnett shoves her through the back door and then spins and fires. Cooney tumbles and dies from multiple hits. Julie leads him down a metal staircase. Bullets ricochet left and right. Follow Burnett and Julie as they race through the grungy alley to his station wagon. The cafe is between Julie's front door and the Volvo. Casper appears, firing his gun. People scatter and scream. Bullets rip all about. Burnett starts the engine and lurches out into the street. The plates on Burnett's Volvo. Inside the car, one dog starts to bark. "Fine time to bark. Where were you when they were coming up the walk?" "Shit, but they gotta look at my license plates. If you saw him again, would you remember the guy who shot Max?" "All I remember is one of them had really bad hair. Where are we going?" "I told you, I'm putting you into protective custody." She cuts him off. "No way, listen, no offense. I don't trust anybody." "Yeah, I noticed. Believe me, it's not a new thing, especially when my life is at stake. I read the newspaper. People disappear all the time." Exasperated again. "Fine, so what do you want to do? Where will you feel safe?" "I didn't really think about it. I guess it's your place or a plane ticket. Your place is cheaper, so you choose." "My place? Okay, good. No wait, my place is wrong." "Wrong? I mean right, as in good. My place is good. We'll go there first." "My place." Burnett's Volvo pulls into the circular driveway of Ocean View Terrace. "Wait here." Burnett walks over to Chet, the doorman, a shifty little guy who's always got his hand out. He's sitting on a folding chair reading Penthouse Forum. "Detective Burnett, Mr. Lowry is out. He told me I could use the place tonight." "Didn't mention it to me." Chet holds out his hand. Burnett slips him 10. Chet sneaks a peek over at the car and sees Julie putting on lipstick. "Say, how's that Mrs. Burnett?" Burnett realizes this is going to cost him more. Gives him another 10. But for Chet, it's still not enough. "Your children are good? Mr. Lowry says you've got a regular baby factory going on over there." Burnett gives him all of his money. "Here, and if that's not good enough, I'm going to run you for extortion." "Now that I think about it, Mr. Lowry did mention something about giving you the key." The door opens, and Burnett gropes awkwardly in the dark for the light switch. He finally finds it. "I forget I had these switches moved." "Welcome to Casa del Lowry." Julie enters, looking left and right, cautious but impressed by the stylish digs. "Nice. Very nice. All this on a cop's salary?" I invest." "Right, what was your last pick? A horse in the number 2 race at Pimco? Or did a bookie give you an inside tip?" Julie runs her hand across French wine rack labels. "My father invests. Listen, you must be tired. I'll only ask you this once, Mike. Are you on the take? And if you say no, and I discover you're lying to me, I'll walk. Are we clear?" "Fair enough. I'm not on the take. Satisfied?" "Good. So why don't you make yourself at home? Here's the TV remote. Watch yourself some Gilligan's Island reruns or something." He hits the on button, but instead of TV, the room immediately becomes a seduction den. The lights dim and romantic music plays. Huh, all these damn things look like. He switches it off. Well, gotta run. There's probably a couple of good steaks in the fridge for the dogs. Help yourself to whatever. He starts to leave. I'll check on you in the morning. Where are you going? Back to the PD. I got paperwork back on my desk to go through that's about this high. To his armpits. And, now there's you, so that makes it to this high. To his neck. You mean you're gonna leave me alone in your place? With all your stuff? Why shouldn't I? Are you a thief or a vandal? Of course not. And I'm not a call girl either. I didn't ask. I know you didn't. I just thought you should know. Okay. Important lesson. Julie's not a call girl. Can I go now? Just one more thing. Julie steps forward and wraps her arms around Burnett. It's a one-way hug. Uncomfortable, Burnett doesn't reciprocate other than a palsy pat on the back. Thank you. For everything. Don't mention it. Burnett tries to break toward the door when the phone rings. Burnett stares at the phone, not knowing what to do. Aren't you going to? The answering machine kicks on. Hi, you're live with Lowry. Leave it at the beep. Beep. Mike, it's Yvette. I know I told you I don't date cops, and I know I told you I wouldn't sleep with a man I wasn't going to marry. But I've been thinking, and remember when I said thinking was a dangerous thing? So I started feeling, well, lonely, and remember you gave me that key? Burnett charges over and shuts off the machine. It's, you don't have to explain. Finally, they've reached a consensus. Burnett grins and is out the door. Lock the door. Don't open it for anybody. As Burnett is racing back to the car, he sees Chet behind the desk and stops. Listen, Chet, the girl, she's a witness. I'm going to be gone for about an hour. Do me a favor, keep your eye out, okay? You know, Mr. Burnett, I'm getting off in just a few minutes, so I could watch the door if you like. You know, in a chair. I could just sit in it. Outside the door like cops do when they're guarding shit. Just keep an eye out. He heads for the door. Yeah, I was gonna be a cop, you know. It just didn't work out. You know, politics. As Doris storms toward her bedroom, Burnett trails her apologetically. Don't honey baby me. I swear, baby, it's nothing. I was on the job. As she gets to the bedroom, Doris wheels around. And you just happened to lose your wedding ring? On the job? He looks down at his ringless finger. No, I got it right here. He hastily fishes into his jacket pocket, but it's too late. Doris slams the door in his face and locks it. Burnett's pained expression. Burnett and Lowry are on the move. If you were a real partner, instead of some no-backup, hot-dogging, car-chasing, skirt-sniffing motherfucker, I would be getting down to business with my wife instead of stuck in this situation. Yeah, well, thanks for the get-well card. Howard is in sweats, awkwardly shooting free throws as his morning workout. Parked on either side of the hoop, Lowry and Burnett patiently retrieve each missed ball and send it back to him. Chief, I tried to set the girl up with a sketch artist, but she won't. I tried to get her to come in, look at the mug books, but she won't. She'll only deal with Mike Lowry. He tosses a brick. That's right. So let her deal with the real Mike Lowry, who, I might add, should have been there taking the call instead of running off like a hot dog without any backup. Howard fires another missed shot. He's so bad. It's all Burnett and Lowry can do to keep from spiking the ball. Hey, I'm not the one who left a strange hooker alone in my apartment. You know, she's probably on the street selling all my shit as we speak. I had to stash her somewhere. She's scared shitless, just like her dogs. Dogs, too? I got Persian rugs, man. I'm going home. Explain the whole thing, take her to Motel 6, she'll understand. Not a good idea. Until she IDs the shooters, he's Mike Lowry. Could take a couple of hours, could take all day. You got a computer with a modem? Big computer. Expensive. Yeah, I got a computer, and you shouldn't touch it. It took me weeks to get it set up the way I want it, and I don't want amateurs messing with it. Brick number 4. Burnett, I'll have Francine give you the user code for the computer files. You can run pictures for the girl on Lowry's super-duper computer. So what about me? I can't tell my wife I've been shacked up with a female witness. Besides, I think they made my car last night. I gotta stay close to home just in case. Easy. Lowry moves into your house, and you're on special assignment. No way, I'm not living in that zoo. My house ain't no zoo. Enough, you're him, he's you. Until she makes the shooters, and we get the dope back. I don't care what you have to do, just make it work. Lowry and Burnett feel hammered by Howard. Upon retrieving his final brick, Lowry passes to Burnett, who feeds Lowry back with a heel kick to the rim. Lowry slams the ball home. They exit with Howard simply staring. Burnett is tossing some things into an overnight bag. Teresa watches him concerned. You never had to go to Cleveland on police business before. Cleveland is where they collared the dealer. That's where I gotta go to testify. But what about us? The neighborhoods all had break-ins. I won't feel safe if you're... Honey, I wouldn't go if I didn't have the most trustworthy man I know to look after my family. Oh no, not Lowry. Not in my house. Yes, Lowry, I trust him with my life, and I most certainly trust him with yours. Why don't they send him to Cleveland? Baby, it's a federal subpoena. I'm the witness. I'm the one who has to testify. Case closed. I'm the one going to Cleveland. Lowry is staying here. Teresa stands at the door with arms crossed. Meanwhile, Burnett throws his bag in the trunk of the Porsche. He and Lowry trade car keys, the Porsche for the Volvo. Don't forget to put snail guard on my lawn. Just leave Cleveland the way you found it. Burnett climbs in and waves out the window. Bye-bye, Teresa. Be good, kids. Lowry joins Teresa on the porch. Mockingly, he puts his arm around her and waves. Why is he taking your car? He's dropping it off at the mechanic on the way to the airport. The engine needs an overhaul, or will by the time he gets there. The Porsche heads down the block with a grinding of gears. Lowry winces and heads for the Volvo when Teresa gets in his way. What do you think you're doing? I got a list here of things that Marcus was supposed to do. That's right, Marcus, not Mike. 'Cause Mike is a cop on a case with no time to waste. Lowry is in the Volvo and pulling away as fast as he can. One of Miami's famous canals. Derelict ships are docked and rusting. One such ship, an old freighter called Mariana. The camera follows Noah through a maze of tight corners and stairwells into a single massive hold converted into a drug processing lab. Huge bakery-sized mixing bowls chug on one side of the room, while lab workers form the doughy cut heroin into pizza-sized forms and then shovel them into tractor ovens on the other side of the room. When the pies come out, more lab assistants reform the pies into keys. He's dealing with his 26-year-old chemist named Elliot. Okay, explain it to me, Elliot. Why are we behind? The cutting agent is highly volatile. You can't cook it like you would a pizza. I had to gear the ovens down to half speed. We already accounted for that, Elliot. It's in our fucking timetable. So what else? Elliot is uncomfortable. He looks back at Wally, his stone-looking assistant, before forging ahead. There's too much moisture down here. The pies are taking longer to cook than we originally planned. Yeah, it's totally fucked. You, shut up. Back to Elliot. Now listen, you little pussy. We're not making pizza. We're making money. I gave you a deadline. If you succeed, you're a millionaire. If you fail, you're a fucking corpse. So help me God, Elliot. If you give me a fucking ulcer, I'll dig your dead mother up and fuck her with your severed dick. Do you understand? Christ. Noah, bring me something for my stomach. A fucking Snapple or something. Burnett enters Lowry's condo, and instantly the dogs are yapping. Shut up before I step on you. Julie. He drops his bag and heads into the bedroom, where Julie, fresh from a shower, towel about her, and drying her hair. Julie! That you, Mike? Yeah, it's me. Mike. At least your timing is good. Could you bring me the lotion on the nightstand? Burnett enters. Julie has a towel wrapped around her body. Thanks. So I was thinking... Julie, obviously free with her body, suddenly drops the towel and starts applying lotion. Burnett averts his eyes, turning around a full 180, but finds himself facing a mirror. Oops. He looks left. Another shiny surface. Shit. To himself. Crazy fucking woman. He steps from the bathroom and stands outside the door. The guy who killed Max? Now he was looking for the heroin that Eddie stole from him. Max went to the party as a favor to you. You're a dope cop, right? Special Narcotics Division. So this isn't about Max's death at all. It's about dope. We find the dope, we find our shooter too. There's some powder in there too. Can you hand me that? Waits for an answer. Mike! Mike! Burnett has disappeared into... Burnett is going through Lowry's extensive and meticulously coordinated wardrobe, shaking his way all the way through. Man, when this is over, I'm going to get me something better than quality time. It's going to be me and Teresa on a boat. Mike, I borrowed a t-shirt and some boxer shorts until we can somehow get back over to my place and pick up some clothes. Burnett exits the closet to find Julie brushing out her wet hair, wearing nothing but what she described. A t-shirt, a pair of Lowry's boxers tied up with a shoestring. This ensemble never looked so good. Mugshots. We got mugshots to look at. Excuse me, I gotta hook into the PD computer. He heads out of the bedroom. Hey, Mike, who's the guy in all the pictures? Burnett turns. There behind Julie is a wall full of photos that he's never ever noticed. Nearly all Lowry. All ego. That guy? That's Marcus Burnett, my partner. Burnett gets closer, and must look around until he finds a singular photo of the two of them. It's in a shitty frame, too. There's the two of us, see? Me and, my partner. Listen, Mike, I've known a lot of guys. I've seen a good number of their bedrooms, too. But I've never seen, look at it. It's like a shrine to him. Yeah, okay, sure, I can see how it looks that way, but it's a cop thing. That's because I got a picture up there for every time Marcus has saved my life. Saved your life? I save his life, he saves mine. He's, got the same thing in his house. Pictures of me. More, even. Good family man, that Marcus. Okay, but Mike, this is like a lot of pictures. This isn't something by a bedstand. This is like a whole wall. And I know Max said you were just friends. That's why I was thinking maybe you could be gay. Burnett reacts and then recovers with, Me? Gay? Are you out of your mind? I didn't mean to offend you. It's a good thing I'm secure in my manhood to see that you don't mean that. You know how many women I've had in that waterbed? Check the waves as they go by. Count 'em. He turns back to the living room. Now, mugshots? Burnett and Julie are sitting at the computer looking at mugshots dialed in from the police database. She fiddles with, but does not eat her salad, while stealing sideways glances from the computer screen to the nasty bologna sandwich Burnett is eating. The shooter said 4 days until he makes a deal. What else did he say? Something weird. Sounded like 3 angels. He wasn't worried because he had 3 little angels on his shoulder telling him something. I didn't get the rest. Back to the mugshots. I'm tired of looking at ugly people. Just a few more and we can take another break. I don't want to take a break. Then we'd have to talk, and I got nothing to say to a cannibal. A what? That was a living, breathing consciousness. It felt joy and sadness. Maybe it even had a name. What had a name? That flesh you're shoveling into your mouth. He stops chewing. It's just baloney. It was alive. Some farmer fed it, got it to trust him, and then blew its brains out and dumped it into a cement mixer with a ton of carcinogens, and now you're eating it. Burnett never looked at it that way. He starts to put it down. No, at least finish it so I won't have to look at it. Now let's look at some more ugly people. There's a photo of Noah on the screen with his extensive rap sheet. Wait, hold it, go back. That's him. That's one of them. You sure? Julie nods. She's certain. Lowry is on the phone. Captain Howard, please. It's Lowry. Uncle Mike. Lowry looks down to find little Megan pulling at his leg. She shows a picture book. But I have to go now. Lowry is standing outside of the bathroom, portable phone in hand. He's trying to keep his voice low. I had just talked to Marcus. The girl just ID'd one of the shooters. Uncle Mike! Okay, hang on, Cappy. He starts reading from the book. This is Prudence, and she has to go potty. This is a potty. Everyone has to poop, and when they do, they use the potty. Mommy poops, Daddy poops, Captain Howard poops, even doggies poop. Burnett is cleaning up dog shit from one of Lowry's Persian rugs. The stain won't come out, so Burnett tries a can that he's grabbed. It foams. Julie appears with a pile of clean laundry in hand. Your dog took a shit, and you use Pledge to clean it up? He looks at the can. Lemon Pledge? Well, that makes a difference. You just varnished that into the fabric. I'm sure it works great. Burnett doesn't quite know what to do with the wad of dog poop and paper towels still in his hand. Julie snatches it from him and heads for the bathroom. Burnett follows. He suddenly realizes that the clean clothes are his. You cleaned my clothes? I threw them in with mine. You cleaned my clothes. He's all appreciative until he notices something disturbing. A shirt of his has a large bleached area on it. What's this? I had a little accident. This is my favorite shirt, my lucky shirt. Sorry. As Burnett starts to walk away. Listen, Mike, I don't have any of my clothes. I want to go back to my place to get some. Not gonna happen. I need apparel. That, and I need some food that's something more than a cold slab of fear. Slab of fear? All you got in this place are frozen steaks. All right, I left my wallet at the office, so I'll give you some cash tomorrow. Quincy and Jill are wrapped, as Lowry does a quick security sweep, checking closets and window locks as he tells a bedtime story. So your daddy and I are trapped in this crack house in Little Havana. These dudes were real mean mothers, and they started coming at us with knives. Now I'm scared, thinking I'm out for the count, when in comes your daddy, like a Miami hurricane. Standing in the doorway, hands on her hips, Teresa. Oh, hi Teresa. Just telling the kids about... Thank you, but I'll tuck the kids in. Say goodnight to Uncle Mike. But we want to hear the rest of the story. Teresa silences Quincy with a look. Sensing his cue, Lowry kisses the kids. Good night, gang. Good night, Uncle Mike. Lowry is seated on the couch, loading clips and dressing his weapon on the coffee table. As he pours a Coke, Teresa appears at the bottom of the stairwell. If you were my husband, I would poison that. If you were my wife, I would drink it. 12 years I'm married, Michael, and I never let Marcus bring home his work. It's just a harmless bedtime story. I thought the kids deserved to know about the hero they have for a dad. They don't need any violence in this household, and we certainly don't need any more heroes. What we need is a father and a husband. Husband? Teresa, he's your personal errand boy. You beep the poor son of a bitch every hour on the goddamn hour. Why is it always about some useless bullshit that can wait until later? I mean, the guy's got a job to do. You want to know why I page him? Because until that phone rings, I don't know whether he's dead or alive. And let me tell you, those 3 minutes I'm waiting for him to call back, those are the hardest 3 minutes for a cop's wife. He toasts with the Coke. Touché, Teresa. Sheets and pillows are in the hope chest. I'll see you in the morning. Noah's car is parked down the block from Burnett's house. With night vision goggles, they glass the house. Back at Lowry's condo, the camera starts on a beautiful shot of Julie sleeping in the bedroom, pulls back and swivels to reveal Burnett on the couch, gun laid across his chest. He lays awake while Luke and Duke sniff at his feet. Lowry unhappily pulls into the parking lot, driving Burnett's dilapidated Volvo. Ruiz and Sanchez, walking from the cars, spot him and laugh as he climbs out of the wreck. Oh, mean machine, Lowry. You should recognize the trunk. It's the one you came to America in. I didn't come from Cuba by car, you asshole. Lowry walks by his own cherished Porsche on the way in. Lowry and Burnett on a roll. I'm telling you, I've had it with this witness. I want to go home, get back to my life as it was. I got married so I could stop lying. Oh, please, big fucking deal. You know what I had to do? I drove your kids to school this morning. Your son forgot his homework, so I had to drive him all the way back in that junker of yours. As if looking at Burnett for the first time. What is that you're wearing? Is that my new silk shirt? Is that my shirt? Yeah, I know, it's a little big on me. But cool, I figure. What about it? If I'm gonna be Mike, I might as well dress like Mike. I wanna be like Mike. Lowry's beeper sounds. He checks out the number. I gotta call the wife. The wife? Lowry finds the nearest phone and dials. Burnett is thinking Teresa? Yeah, what's up, baby? Uh-huh. He pulls out a notepad. Okay, what else? You want me to do what? Lowry glances over at Burnett, who's clearly loving the fact that it's Lowry's turn to be errand boy. So Lowry, hectic down there. I'll be in 9:30. The kids all right? How's that potty thing? Yeah, okay. All right. Lowry turns to block the phone, depressing the switch, but acting as if he's still on with Teresa. Say, you, want to rent a movie or something? Uh-huh. You're so silly. Burnett is burning now. So, baby, what you wearing? Give me that phone. He grabs it. Hello, Teresa? Teresa? Man, it's off. It was a joke. Hey, man, don't mess with me. That's the mother of my children. Don't break up a happy home. Lowry is annoyed. He holds the list Teresa gave him as they walk down the aisle of a Save More Drugs. Marcus, this is crazy. We are 5 minutes away from picking up this asshole and returning to our lives. And we're here doing this shit. Where the fuck is it? Hey, don't ask me to find it for you. You're the expert on my wife. You know, this is like some really bizarre shit that you're on right now. Your wife asked me to do this, and I'm doing it. Besides, I'm you, remember? You don't even know where you're going. You're in the wrong aisle. Lowry follows Burnett to the next aisle, where Burnett gestures to the wall of feminine hygiene products. You think you know what Teresa needs, man? But I do this every month. Just look for fresh days. Lowry moves ahead. There's too much to look at. You're unbalanced. Listen, I read the parole jacket on this guy. Noah, armed robbery, attempted murder. He's a violent offender, something like 9 times. Sweet guy. Not a single drug bust on his sheet. So he's a new recruit. Keep looking, will you? Fresh days. You know, it's a damn shame she makes you buy this stuff. Hey, that's what husbands do. Terrible fucking job. Examining the shelves. It's like shaving cream. They're all the same. Fresh, free, confident, secure. Super wide? What the fuck? We're taking this one. Burnett snatches Lowry's box and puts it back on the shelf. Hey man, you're not even reading. These are panty liners, okay? A woman chooses this moment to walk by. That's a whole nother category of thing. Man, for a guy that spends all his time chasing pussy, you sure don't know much about the woo-woo. Here it is, fresh days. You pay for it. Burnett and Lowry park and pop the trunk. Inside are guns and uniforms. What are we going to be today? Postal inspectors or water and power? Water and power. Approaching a trailer are Burnett and Lowry, but now they're dressed in shorts and t-shirts with bright orange vests and caps reading water and power. As Lowry knocks on the door, clothes on a heavy link chain wrapped around a pink refrigerator. It moves. What do you think the chain is for? I don't know. Maybe some kind of hurricane anchor? They knock again. The chain jerks slightly. Well, the anchor just moved. Both turn and look. The chain is moving. At first, it simply sways back and forth. Then it pulls taut, and the fridge jolts. A deep guttural noise sounds. From around the corner, a shadow grows large. Lowry and Burnett instinctively withdraw their guns and aim just as a lion rounds the corner, teeth bared, claws tearing at the deck. The door swings open. Burnett pushes Lowry inside just as the big cat lunges. Lowry and Burnett are holding the door against the growling lion. Who are you? Lowry and Burnett heave and they turn. They're equally shocked to find a huge 300-pound woman in nothing but her underwear. Animal control! But your uniform says water and power. We're undercover. Now we're looking for the owner of that animal. Listen. The cat doesn't belong to me. It belonged to my brother, and I don't know where he is. Well, that's too bad because his lion is tied to your trailer. So you gotta move the beast. Or move the trailer. Move the trailer? Move to where? The Everglades. That's the, only part of South Florida that's zoned for Wild Kingdom shit. Of course, the crocs down there will probably eat your brother's cat. But he loves that lion. Raised him from a little kitty. Well, little kitty is gonna be gator bait unless you suddenly remember where your brother is. By the look on her face, her memory is coming back. Lowry and Burnett pull up in an unmarked police car to Lowry's building. Chet is there to help with the door. To each of them. Morning, Mr. Lowry. Morning, Mr. Lowry. Burnett grabs Lowry and yanks him toward the elevators. Keys in the door, and Burnett and Lowry enter the apartment. Julie's dogs run up to them yapping. It's me, Julie. Julie enters from the bedroom, dressed in something hot from the tag still hanging from the sleeve. I'll be ready in just a minute. I thought I'd have to tell you. She stalls at the sight of Lowry. A little spark of interest passes between them. Hey, I'm Julie. You must be Marcus. Hand outstretched. I recognize you from all the photographs. Nice to meet you. She turns around for Burnett. What do you think? Very nice. The occasion? He said we're going to a club tonight. Yes, we're going to a club. As in me and my partner. Oh, that's fucking swell. And you call this protective custody? I'm here all day long. I'm alone and scared. And all I got to protect me is Chet the doorman. Hey, what's that on the rug? Looks like a stain. His teeth grit. It was my babies, Luke and Duke. They get nervous in new surroundings. I ordered to pay for the cleaning, but Mike wouldn't hear of it. Lowry spots rings from glasses on the table. Have you heard of a new invention called the coaster? He tries to buff the table with his sleeve. She might be catching on. Marcus, you act like it's your place. What? No, it's not my place. My wife, she's a designer. She decorated the whole place at a discount just for Mike. When she hears about how he's been taking care of it, he glares witheringly at the dogs. Off the couch! Lowry chases the dogs into the bedroom. One of the dogs runs out with a Cole Haan loafer in his mouth. They both follow him into the bedroom. Where the lock on the front door turns, the door opens. A mysterious woman in an overcoat, sunglasses, and spiked heels enters. Mike? The woman strips off the overcoat, under which she's breathtakingly naked, save for a garter belt and stockings. She drapes the coat over the nearest chair. I'm feeling real nasty right now. Burnett is first to appear from the bedroom, and his expression goes off the charts. Startled, the woman shrugs back into her closet. Who the hell are you? Burnett charges her, instantly ushering her to the door. How did you get in here? Julie and Lowry return from the bedroom. I have a key, but Mike... Maybe you should call first next time. What's your name? Yvette. You don't quit stalking me, Yvette, I'm going to place your ass under arrest. Bye. Burnett slams the door. She's screaming on the other side, pounding with her fists, and cursing in mad Spanish. Finally, she stomps off down the hall. What the hell is going on down here? Just that crazy Yvette stalking me again. Lowry could kill. Yvette? You didn't just send away Yvette. That woman is into some weird shit. Julie is confused, to say the least. To Burnett. So, Mike, any other spontaneous naked woman with keys that we should know about? We, as in Marcus and I, are going to Club Hell. We're going to nail this Noah guy. Anyone got a problem with that? I feel safer now. She turns and exits back into the bedroom. Burnett is about to follow when Lowry swings himself outside the door and gets into his face. You are ruining my life. Yeah, well, this case is messing with mine too. The ultimate Miami night scene. A long line of local and hip and cool couples are waiting. Lowry and Burnett appear at the front of the line, coolly flashing their badges to a hipster couple. Hey man, I got some bad news. Your car got busted into. There's some uniformed boys in the parking lot that want to ask you some questions. Pissed and panicked, the hipster pair head for the parking lot, while Lowry and Burnett take their place near the front of the line. Julie, still dressed for the evening, paces back and forth. Frustrated, she rips the tag from her dress and sits back down at the computer. She plays with the keyboard and Noah's mugshot pops back into view. She stares at it a little too intently. Images flash in front of her. The sights and sounds of Max's death replaying itself in her mind. Snapping out of it, determined, she gathers her bag and exits. Hip, hard rock, crowded, sexy. Burnett and Lowry on cruise control. This club is massed with people. High above the room, Fouché looks out on the dance floor with Noah, Casper, and Ferguson behind him. My 3 little angels told me I'd get a visit from a cop tonight, and there they are. He turns and orders. When they split up, we'll drop the tall one and get the other one to lead us to the girl. Lowry and Burnett move to the bar. There's a huge fish tank behind it. I say we split the room in half, make our own moves, hook back up at the bar in 20 minutes. Sounds good to me. Lowry moves off and Burnett turns to a female bartender. Gin and tonic. Smiling with Lowry's platinum card. And add 20 for yourself. Julie pulls up in Lowry's Porsche. Before the valet can get to the door, she's opening Lowry's glove box. In it there's a pistol. Julie mulls it over before removing it and stuffing it in her purse. Lowry meets Burnett back at the bar. Anything? The bartender says he works here, but she hasn't seen him all night. Finishing his drink. I gotta make a pit stop. Now the men's room, and believe it or not, is on the other side of the fish tank behind the bar. Burnett is at the urinal, blissfully relieving himself, when Casper appears at his side. There's that awkward men don't talk at the urinal moment until Burnett leans over. Oh man, Budweiser. Excuse me? I must have drank about 1,000,000 Budweisers tonight, waiting for my old friend Noah to show. Wouldn't know him, would you? Guy practically raised me up from nothing. Sorry, haven't heard of him. Too bad. Burnett shrugs, zips, reaches to flush when Casper wraps a plastic bag around Burnett's head. Burnett gags. Okay, hard on. Tell me where the girl is. Casper slams Burnett into the mirror. Burnett struggles, reaching for anything. He comes up with the towel dispenser, rips it from the wall, and starts pounding over Casper's head. Lowry sips on a beer, totally unaware of what's happening on the other side of the fish tank. Burnett rips the bag off his head, reaching for his gun. But Casper is there, lunging into him and lifting him up into the fish tank. He's been watching the fish in the tank, but turns back towards the bar just at the moment of Burnett's impact. The tank cracks on the bathroom side, and water begins draining, unbeknownst to Lowry. Burnett's gun lay among the flapping carp and seaweed on the floor. Both Burnett and Casper go sliding across the wet floor into the stall, both reaching for the gun. Burnett gets there a second too late. Casper has got the gun. He swings it onto Burnett and squeezes the trigger, but nothing happens. Burnett, in turn, grabs Casper's ear and hammers the big guy's head into the toilet until he falls unconscious. Burnett picks up his gun. Next time, learn how to work the safety with your punk ass. As he cuffs Casper to the toilet. Now where's my no good, no backup partner? Through the busted fish tank, Burnett catches sight of Lowry standing at the bar and making conversation with one of the club beauties. Ferguson and Noah split wide and start their move on Lowry. He sees Julie charging across the dance floor. She's heading right for him. Burnett is watching Ferguson and Noah moving in for the kill when Fouché's point of view shifts from the dance floor to Julie. He recognizes Julie, and there's an instant, oh fuck, look on his face as he realizes that the rules have changed. Lowry meets Julie halfway. He's got her by the arm and is shouting over the loud music. What the hell are you doing here? The guy who killed Max. I remember something he said. Lowry starts moving toward the exit. Well, whatever he said, you have to remember to tell me later. Noah and Ferguson move through a crowd towards Lowry and Julie. Guns with silencers held tight to their sides. 3 little angels. The guy who killed Max said 3 little... Julie sees Noah and freezes. The music's too loud. What did you say about angels? Noah closes the gap. Through the crowd he draws on Lowry. He pounds on the window of the club office. Forget the cop! Kill the girl! Julie pulls the gun from her purse, shuts her eyes, and starts firing wildly. The gun bucks, and each shot goes wildly high. Noah dives for the floor. Fouché hits the deck as the window is shattered by a random bullet. The room clears around Julie. Noah is back on his feet, once again with the gun, but Lowry launches himself off a nearby table and soars over the frightened crowd and comes crashing down upon Noah. Both Lowry and Noah tumble to the floor. Noah's gun skitters into the crowd. Noah chases for it, but he can't find it. Ferguson has a clear shot at Julie. He raises his gun, only to find Burnett's pistol at his ear. Don't even think about it. He realizes. Julie? As she grabs Lowry. That's him! No shit. Meanwhile, Noah is on his feet and hauling ass out of the club. Burnett sees that Noah's on the run, so he cold cocks Ferguson with the butt of his pistol and joins the chase. Lowry, Burnett, and Julie appear at the door of the club, charging down the steps towards the valet. They commandeer a Taurus that just pulled up. All three dive in, Burnett behind the wheel. Let me drive! I'm driving. Buckle up. Burnett hits the gas. The car screams around in tight circles, just as, slam! Noah's sedan backs wildly across the road and crunches them. Noah throws a shotgun over the back seat of his car and fires through the rear window. Blam! Everybody ducks. Safety glass flies before Noah shifts gears and drives on. Noah is already up to 70 miles per hour. He races through a yellow light and hangs a left. As the light turns red, "You're going to drive through that, aren't you?" Burnett does and hauls through the light. Meanwhile, Lowry has the bubble light in hand. He reaches out the window and sticks it on the roof, but it simply slides off. He reels it back in the car and hands it off to Julie. Hold that. Noah is waving a shotgun out of the back and fires. Rocks as one headlight explodes. Come on, let me drive. Do I backseat drive when you're tailing a hitman? Both speeding cars side by side. When Noah cranks the wheel and slams the Taurus, sending it to the left of the divider at a gas station. But Noah, his wheel catches the island and snaps and rolls right into the closed gas station. Noah's car clips the pumps. A geyser of gasoline sprays into the sky. Noah recovers from the roll. He throws his weight into the jammed door. It opens on the second shove. We close on the overhead car light, which ignites automatically. The gas station erupts in flames. Just getting out of the car as the station blows, they shield themselves against the explosion. There goes our only lead to the dope. We better call Howard. That's it. That's it! You're both crazy. Julie takes a few steps away before she decides to give them the other barrel. Protect and serve? Sound familiar? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? 'Cause I'd like to know whose butt you're protecting. I think we protected your uninvited butt pretty good back there. All you care about is getting your dope back. No, that's not all. You care about getting it back in a way that shows how fucking macho and tough you are. It's all just some big testosterone contest. Well, fuck that. As Julie walks in one direction, Burnett blows off in the other. No more. Fuck this. I'm not going with it. No, I'm out. Something's wrong with her. She's a crazy woman. Chill. I'll handle it. He starts after Julie. Julie, just wait a minute. Burnett keeps moving and grousing, while Lowry chases Julie down and snags her by the arm. Hey, just relax. Looking for words. Okay, this whole thing did start about the missing drugs, but somebody I cared about a lot got killed, and I'm not going to lay down until this guy is dead or put away, and I promise you, we'll take care of you. That's what I'm afraid of. Once again, Julie pulls away, but Lowry has got her tight. And close. He digs deep. Hey, what do I gotta say? I need you, okay? I need you. Those are magic words. Julie is swayed, despite herself. Do they teach charm at the academy? Nah, some smooth shit I got on my own. He puts her arm around her and they walk back. Police units surround the blown-up gas station. flashing lights. Julie is shaken, waiting in the back of a police unit. Meanwhile, Ruiz and Sanchez join Burnett and Lowry at the trunk of the toasted car. The fire crew crowbars open the lid. The trunk gives way to a ghastly toxic smell. Everyone gags. Jesus, what kind of shit was in there? Smells like some kind of chemical. We'll get a sample and drop it back at the lab. Meanwhile, why don't you two go back onto Club Hell, see what you can dig up on those bad guys. As Lowry is checking the upstairs of his house, he finds himself staring in on the sleeping kids. One day, bro. Gotta get yourself some of them. Lowry hears sobbing. He gently shuts the kid's door and heads down the hall. In the master bedroom, Teresa sits among boxes of clothes. Lowry gives a polite rap on the door. Hey, that's not crying, I hear. She wipes her tear. Oh, it's nothing. I just bought some clothes. It's been so long since I bought anything nice. I just wanted to wear something nice for Marcus when he got home. But nothing looks right. She starts crying again. He's slipping away from me, Mike. I can feel it. He sits next to her. Teresa, listen to me. Nobody's slipping away from you, especially not Marcus. You can take my word on that. As for the clothes, Lowry pulls a hidden item out of a box. It's hideous. Okay, just a minor fashion faux pas. Those cappuccinos at lunch can do that to you. See what else we got here. Burnett is preparing the couch with a pillow and blanket when he sniffs the air. Burnett lowers his nose to the cushions. The smell gets worse. Burnett crawls into bed fully clothed at Lowry's condo. This is awkward. Julie calls out from the bathroom. I'm really sorry about the dog pee. They must be traumatized by the new surroundings. I'll pay for the new cushions. That's perfectly all right. Julie suddenly flops on the bed, wearing a gorgeous nightgown. So, Mike, can I ask you something? Sure. Do you always come to bed with your clothes on, or just when there's a woman in it? I'm on protective duty, and I want you to feel protected, so I'm dressed and ready. It's okay. I've done it before. Really? You think Marcus would wear clothes to bed while on protective duty? Sure he would. It's a cop thing. Oh, I definitely have a cop thing, too. You do? Well, Marcus, he's something sexy. And the way I came in tonight, he was throwing everybody this way and that. He took control. Well, I drove. I know, you drove well. I shot the gas tank on the car. That's right, you did. And it was exciting, but Marcus, something about him. His wife, what's her name? Teresa. Why? I'll bet Teresa is taking care of business right now. What's that supposed to mean? You know, relieve his tension. A woman will do anything to keep a man like that. You know what I mean? Tonight made me a little horny, I guess. I think maybe it was the car chase, or the guns and everything. I've never shot a gun before. Maybe it's the steel or something. I'm feeling a little funny. Funny? I don't know. Do you feel a little funny? Yeah, I feel a little funny. Not that kind of funny. What kind of funny? You know. She rubs him. Funny. I gotta call Marcus. Burnett is out of bed like a shot and headed for the living room. Lowry is admiring his work in the master bedroom. That's right. Turn around. Teresa turns, looking transformed in the outfit put together by Lowry. You think he'll like it? I mean, I want him to, want to... The phone rings. Lowry is talking and picking up the phone at the same time. Want to? Baby, someone I know is going to burn you right to the ground. Get ready. And then into the phone. You're on the mic with Mike. Hello? The camera is tight on Burnett's face. He's angry as he stares at the phone. His worst fears have been confirmed. An angry Burnett pulls on his jacket. He throws some clothes at Julie. Usually the guy throws me out after he fucks me. I'm different, I'm a cop, and now I gotta kill a guy. From the top of the stairs, we see and hear, "Good night, Uncle Mike." "Yeah, good night, Uncle Mike." "Good night, everybody." Lowry is at the window. Parked just down the street is the same sedan. He goes for the phone and dials. He waits for an answer. "Hey, Sanchez, it's me, Lowry." "Yeah, same to you, pal. But listen, I got something you want a piece of." The Porsche's grinding gears as Burnett stops around the corner from his house. He turns off the ignition and turns to Julie. "I got some jewelry for you." Before Julie can respond, Burnett is cuffing her to the steering wheel. "You prick! First, you don't want me, and then you drag me out." Then she gets it. "Oh, wait, I get it. You're one of those post-adolescent assholes who doesn't get any car sex in high school. Just shut the fuck up. I won't be long. Try and keep out of sight." Burnett's out of the car with the keys. Julie yanks on the handcuffs and then goes for the glove box. But this time, it's empty. Casper spots Burnett nearing the house. "There's our guy. Watch him." Lowry climbs under the blanket on the sofa, the back of which faces the window. Exhausted, he turns off the light and closes his eyes. A beat. Burnett's face pops up furtively in the window, his nose pressed against the glass, looking for evidence of adultery. He can't see Lowry asleep on the couch. His head drops below the window frame, only to reappear in another window. Seeing nothing, he moves on. Burnett skulks into the side yard. The light in Teresa's bedroom is on. He sees her silhouette against the curtain getting undressed. He climbs the trellis to the second story. He boosts himself onto the ledge, inches long. He stops to peer into a window, when the ledge under his feet collapses and he falls. He lands flat on his back on the awning. His eyes close with a word that says "saved," but then he moves, and something creaks. Teresa hears something and runs to the door and calls out, "Mike!" In a heartbeat, Lowry charges into Teresa's room in his underwear. "What's the matter?" "I heard a noise. I think someone's outside." Seemingly stuck once again, Burnett tries to move. Another even louder creak, and then the awning gives way. Burnett crashes loudly into the garbage cans underneath. Lids and cans go every which way. A lid rolls down and into the street. Casper and Ferguson look curiously as the lid rolls into the street. Burnett crawls to his feet as he looks up at the damage he's done. He sees Lowry in his underwear and Teresa in her nightgown. As they part the curtains and look out, he assumes the worst. "Go into the kids' bedrooms, turn the lights out, and wait there until I come get you." Lowry takes gun from the holster and slams in the clip. Lowry switches off the porch light as he exits the house, guns ready. Without warning, Burnett leaps up from the bush and onto Lowry's back. They tumble into the flower bed. Lowry reels with an elbow, dropping Burnett to the lawn, but Burnett rolls and clips Lowry's legs. Lowry falls. He crawls for his gun. He gets a hold of it, turns, and is ready to fire when a car drives past and the headlights reveal Burnett. "Marcus? What the fuck? You doing, Teresa?" "Teresa? What, me and Teresa?" "I hope you used protection, 'cause I don't want a fourth kid that looks like you." Lowry hauls back and belts him. Burnett tears into Lowry and the two roll on the ground. Ferguson and Casper can't believe their eyes. "You want to explain what this shit's about?" "The whole deal has turned you stupid. You're seeing things that aren't there." Burnett picks up a snail. "And I suppose this isn't here? You were gonna put snail guard on the lawn, remember? Mike, are you okay? I'm fine, Teresa, he whispers. Will you get the hell out of here before she sees you? You're supposed to be in Cleveland. Yeah, I wouldn't want to spoil your little arrangement. And where's Julie? You didn't leave her again. She's in the car. Got her cuffed to the steering wheel. Lowry could kill now. He's on his feet, grabbing Burnett by the collar and shoving him up against the front door. Through gritted teeth. Now listen to me. Look over my right shoulder. What do you see? Late model Ford. 2 occupants. Good. So who do you think's in there? Ed McMahon come to tell us we're the sweepstakes winners? Okay, what are we going to do about it? We're doing nothing. I've got it handled. In the meantime, you better get back where you belong before I shoot you myself. Lowry holds and watches Burnett run off to the Porsche, keeping the sedan in his periphery the entire time. The Porsche pulls out and drives right past the sedan. Julie is in full animated view. Casper sees the girl. Son of a bitch, there's the girl! But just as they start the car, ka-thunk, the car lurches. What the fuck? A tow truck has pulled up to the sedan and hooked it. Sanchez operates the winch and Ruiz guns the engine. Let's go! The tow truck hauls away Ferguson and Casper, stuck inside. On the front lawn, satisfied with a grin on his face, Lowry returns to the house. The tow truck wheels into the Orange Bowl Stadium and stops. Ferguson and Casper try to make their break, but the scene suddenly ignites as the Orange Bowl lights go on. Squad cars and about 10 cops surround it with guns and batons. Ruiz and Sanchez step from the tow truck. This ought to teach you not to fuck with a cop's family. Then the lights go out. Burnett enters Lowry's building with Julie in tow. He looks defeated, grass stains on his clothes, mussed hair, and here comes Chet. Evening, Mr. Lowry. May I have a word with you? He pulls him aside. I was thinking that maybe I could see your gun. See, we don't allow guns in the apartments. Mr. Lowry usually checks his in here at the desk with me. You want to check in yours? Burnett pulls his gun, but doesn't hand it to Chet. He sticks it in his face. Oh, okay, it's just an option. Burnett grabs Julie's hand and heads for the elevator. Back in the Narcotics Division squad room, a cigar-smoking Sinclair supervises the lockdown of the Special Narcotics Unit. Desks are being locked by IA suits. Burnett and Lowry enter just as file cabinets are hand-trucked by them. Hey, what's going on here? Wait a minute, that's my desk. Lowry's gonna make a move on Sinclair when Howard appears. Yeah, it's exactly how it looks. IA is shutting us down. We've all been reassigned until their investigation is over. In here. Howard pushes them into Howard's office, where Ruiz and Sanchez wait with one of last night's henchmen. His face is horribly bruised. He says he wants his lawyer. Yeah, but we told him we're desperate men with no fucking jobs, so, he prods the guy. So? All I know is his name. Fouché, I think. Got this heavy French accent. The word was he offs drug dealers, and there was quick cash for whoever had the balls enough to hook up with him. So I swear, man, watching your house was my first gig for the guy. Burnett stands over the henchman and lifts his defeated chin to face him. Burnett has it in him to give the guy one more hard whack for good measure, but that bruised face proves punishment enough. Yeah, I guess you're telling the truth. I also got the lab report from the stuff you picked up in Noah's trunk. He hands it off. Lowry reads, Insert substance. Highly volatile drying agent. This greedy motherfucker. He's cutting the dope. Yeah, but Julie told me his ship comes in on Friday. You want to tell me how he can cut 100 mil worth of dope in 5 days? You're gonna need a whole lot of time cards to make that kind of date. Or one really smart son of a bitch. We're in the shit, boys, and there ain't gonna be any more time cards for this unit unless somebody pulls a miracle out of their ass. Julie is handcuffed to the steering wheel again, parked outside a tire emporium. Semi-draped in the front seat. She can't believe it. I'm getting real tired of this shit. There's a yawning tire graveyard for used and crude tires in the background. Two old codgers are trading stories in front of Jojo, a white boy with Rasta dreadlocks. Hey, Jojo. Through the office window, Jojo sees Burnett and suddenly bolts out the rear door. He runs smack dab into Lowry, who body checks him back against the office door. Good running into you, Jojo. Now, Burnett has pushed Jojo up onto the sink. Lowry hangs back, vibrating with anticipation. Hey, calm down. A little rap, that's all. We're looking for someone who can step on a shitload of heroin. And do it real fast and real well. We're looking for a pro. I'm in the rubber business now. We're not playing around with you, Jojo. You know what we want. I'm telling you straight up like a straight fucking arrow, okay? I'm straight as a board. I'm so straight it's fucking sick. Now there's a lot of dope, Jojo. Who can cut it quick? Cut it up? Yeah, I don't know anything about anything. Lowry has had it. He pulls his gun and pushes in. Hey man, I can't believe you're putting a gun on me. You're a cop. I turn you into hard copy, man. I put you on the TV set. What are you doing, man? As Burnett tries to intercede, they talk over each other. We don't get time for this, Jojo. I'm gonna kill you, man. I've got 15 bullets, and I'm gonna fill your Rasta ass full of some hot shit. He reaches behind his back. Mike, chill with that. No, don't do it. This is illegal. He's just a white ganja-smoking motherfucker. He ain't worth it. Wait. Burnett pushes in one last time and tries to talk Lowry back. Lowry acts like he's lost it. He pulls another gun and points it at Burnett. Back up! I'm gonna bust your fucking ass too! And then back to Jojo. Talk to me. Tell me what I want to know. I'll do you, man. Say it. Come on. Right on, Jojo. You're on your own. As he walks away. I'm sorry for you, Jojo. I was on your side. I'll just be over here. I don't want no skull fragments or brain shit on me. When that shit flies, it don't wash off. Jojo is scared shitless. He's gonna die. These are some crazy motherfuckers. Burnett chimes in again. Remember, partner, he's no good to us if you splatter his ass. Okay, I definitely don't know for sure. But I know a little for sure. 3 guys. Well, 2 of them, and one's dead. Crazy rocket scientist. Einstein fucking guy. Got some rich mommy and daddy. I'll tell you where he's at. Lowry holsters his gun. Man, it's a good thing you got a working memory, 'cause that dead man paperwork is a bitch. Staked out around the corner are Burnett and Lowry. Each is clearly tired of the other. The silence is deadly, until Julie breaks the silence. So, where's the coffee and donuts? What? I thought that was the usual menu when cops were on a stakeout. A little caffeine for the heart, some sugar-coated dough fried in day-old grease. Man, will you get off this? You're making me sick. Oh, I'm sorry, Marcus. All these hours on the case. You must miss Teresa's home cooking. Near Lowry's ear. I bet last night she fixed you up something yummy and left it in the microwave for you. Burnett starts to steam. Yeah, something yummy. I imagine there was something yummy waiting for you when you finally made it to bed. Hey, listen, lady! But Burnett's face ignites with headlights at the rear. Doors open. Lowry checks the rear view. He sees 2 private security cops named D'Souza and Town. They split and approach either side of the unmarked sedan. Aw man, it's the fucking pretend police. Be nice. After tomorrow, we might need 'em for a job reference. Lowry rolls down his driver's window in time to hear, "Well, what do we have back here? Looks like we got us 2 pimps and a hooker. Hey, fellas, maybe if she does us both, we'll let you leave with your pride intact." Excuse me? One moment. He rolls up the window. "Let's fuck with these bozos." Burnett nods his approval. Lowry lowers the window. "Now, where were we?" "Out of the car. Hands where we can see 'em, feet spread." Both hobby cops open the door for Lowry and Burnett respectively. Looks pass between them as they step out and they assume the positions. Town starts by frisking Burnett's shoulders. That's not how you frisk a potential lawbreaker. You gotta start at the waistband, see if he's carrying a piece. Town stalls a bat, and then self-consciously goes to Burnett's waistband where he feels a gun. Both hobby cops instantly withdraw, their own pieces drawn and leveled on Burnett and Lowry. "Whoa, you better watch it, fellas." "You know, it would be very bad if you shot and killed 2 helpless pimps and a call girl, but it would be even worse if you shot 2 policemen and their witness on a stakeout." Looks pass between the hobby cops. Lowry slowly turns. "Now, I'm reaching slowly for my shield. Very slowly. Here it comes. Just about got it." He reveals his badge. "Oh, look at that. It's a detective shield. All gold and shiny. A smart fella wouldn't fuck with somebody who had one of these in his pocket. So let's see. I guess that makes us policemen. And you?" "Not." He shows his shield. Both hobby cops lower their guns, unsure about what's next. Burnett moves in. "Now, some rent-a-cops have licenses to carry weapons, where others do not. Which might you be? You wouldn't happen to have those permits handy, would you?" From the looks on the hobby cops' faces, Julie can see that they don't. Guess we know the answer to that one. D'Souza and Town lay face down and cuffed on the pavement, while the camera lifts back to the car. "I bet you miss your wife and kids. I bet you miss them a whole lot." "Ah, don't worry. They're in good hands." Teresa gives a peek out of the window. There's another suspicious car on the street. Sanchez and Ruiz are on protective duty in front of Burnett's house. "Are you kidding, man? Daisy was the brains behind the whole operation. That's why they called the company Daisy Lou. Daisy was first, Lucy was second. Get it? Daisy Lou." Coral Gables stakeout. Julie passed out and once again sleeping in the rear of the car. In the glow of the faltering streetlights and the approaching dawn, she couldn't look more beautiful. From his post in the driver's seat, he's looking at her with a longing that goes well beyond lust, and then Burnett breaks the silence. 2:00, the red Civic. The exterior of Elliot's house, Burnett's point of view, telephoto angle. Elliot shuts the door to his little red Civic, jangling the keys as he's hurrying up the walk to the front door. He looks like he hasn't slept or showered in days. Let's just hope he didn't come home for a nap. Elliot exits the house in a hurry, hair wet from a shower and a fresh change of clothes. He fumbles with his keys to his Civic, gets in, and drives. I'm on him. Hey, buckle up back there. What? Lowry has the keys in the ignition and is stomping on the gas. Tailing scene as Lowry and Burnett tail Elliot through morning traffic. We enter a boatyard. Lowry and Burnett's unmarked sedan stops about 200 yards from a freighter. Elliot is out of the car in a flash and crawling aboard the ship, but as he disappears, Casper appears with his own pair of binoculars. They've made us. Let's move. Lowry floors it. Lowry is driving in his typical pedal-to-the-metal style while Burnett talks on the radio. Yeah, tell Howard to assemble the troops. We've just made the dope lab. We'll be at the PD in 1 hour. So what am I gonna do? You're gonna keep your sweet ass nice and quiet at my place. What? Mike's place. I said Mike's place. Lowry rolls his eyes. He can't wait for this to end. Typical pandemonium at the Burnett kitchen in the morning. Teresa is making breakfast while the TV blares. Quincy is channel surfing on the TV when he comes up with news footage of the explosion, followed by more footage of Lowry, Julie, and Burnett at the scene. Hey, it's Dad and Uncle Mike. A news anchor. In our continuing report on police violence, the most recent incident involving 2 Miami PD officers remains unexplained by department spokesman. This high-speed chase was captured 2 nights ago by our Live Copter 9 news team. And while the driver was killed, both police officers involved in the incident seemed to escape without injury. Kids, you go over to the neighbor's house. I'll be right back. Where you going? Mommy's going to Cleveland. Bang! They're through the door of Lowry's condo, grubby and tired from the all-night stakeout. Teresa enters the building, ignores Chet, and heads straight for bank of elevators. Lady, all visitors must be announced. Announce this! In a motherly flash, she's got Chet by the ear, and she's dragging him over to the elevator. He yowls the entire way until he sticks his master pass card in the elevator lock. Teresa then lets go. Julie is framed in the bedroom doorway, somewhat sadly watching Burnett and Lowry scramble to get ready for the bust. So I guess when you get back, it's gonna be over. That's the plan. So, Mike, loan some of those ass-kicking clothes. Throw a drawer down. Hey, Julie, do me a favor and see who that is. Julie looks through the peephole and then opens the door. There is Teresa, Julie's hip. Which one do you want? The tall one or the short one? Oh, I got plenty in me to kill 'em both, but it's the short one I'm gonna divorce. She pushes past. Thought so. Julie watches Teresa charging headlong into... Burnett is stripped to his pants and t-shirt, while Lowry is down to his white boxer shorts. He's talking and wiping down his gun with a rag. Man, I can't wait to see the look on Howard's face when we tell him, Holy shit! Hi, Teresa. Honey? Save your crap, Mike. Mike, what? What did he do? Teresa, it's not how it looks. It ain't Cleveland neither. Where's Julie? Lowry pushes past Teresa into the living room, where Julie is gone. The front door is wide open. Julie is inside the elevator. She hits the close button, but Lowry catches it. Julie, we wanted to tell you. I especially wanted to tell you. You think I don't know? God, you are so stupid. And to think I let you use me like you did, Max. Why? Julie? Wait, I know why. Because you said you needed me. Jesus, who's the stupid one now? We still need you. He reaches for her. Fuck you. Julie slams a fist into Lowry's face. The elevator doors shut. Burnett comes hauling down the corridor with Teresa at his heels. He pounds the elevator button. You stayed away from home just 1 night too many, Marcus. Teresa, she's a material witness. It was orders. The elevator doors open and Julie makes for an exit. She sees a cab parked outside, slips back on her spiked heel, and starts to run for it when Fouché enters with Casper and Ferguson to either side. They sweep into the lobby, stalling just inside the doorway, when they realize their target is right there in front of them, frozen like a deer caught in the proverbial headlights. To the right and left, people at the mailboxes. Chet on the phone behind the desk. but he's looking at Julie and then grab her. But the doors to the second elevator open. Burnett and Lowry step out in time to see Julie looking out at them, and bad guys about to make their move. Fouché and his henchmen left. Burnett and Lowry to the right, and Julie in the middle. Fouché is the first one to draw down. "Julie, drop now!" Pandemonium. Guns drawn and blazing. All three villains, plus Burnett and Lowry, diving and firing. People in lobby scream and duck for cover. Smoke and plaster fill the air. Burnett pushes Teresa back into the elevator, making her lay on the floor as bullets cut above. Lowry slips behind a pillar as bullets whiz past. Julie on the floor in the middle, crawling for cover when, with balls the size of Pennsylvania, Fouché, with 2 guns in hand, walks forwards with barrels fixed and firing, clips out on one, tosses the gun aside with his free hand, reaches down and grabs Julie by the hair and lifts her until she stands. "Let's go!" With a gun in her side, he backs away and shoves her through the exit. Casper and Ferguson follow. Lowry swings around the pillar, gun leveled, and running after them. "Julie!" Meanwhile, into the open elevator, Burnett slides his gun over to her. "Go upstairs and don't let anybody in but me. Do it." Burnett closes the door. The door closes just as Teresa reaches for him, calling, "Marcus, I love you." Fouché shoves Julie into a waiting car. All 3 bad guys pile in, and the car peels rubber just as Lowry makes the doorway. Lowry doesn't stop. He doesn't even wait for traffic. In nothing but his underwear, he appears from the building, turns the corner out the door, launches into traffic like a shot, spinning off bumpers chasing Fouché's car on foot. Fouché's car slides into the intersection and stalls traffic. To the right is a footbridge. The car swings a hard right. A male nurse pushes an old man in a wheelchair, and they are in the way. The nurse tumbles up and onto Fouché's windshield. The wheelchair is empty and spinning. On the other side of the footbridge, metal pylons embedded in concrete. "Out of the car!" The doors fly open, and all 3 are out in the middle of the stalled traffic, Julie being dragged along with them. The gang cuts down an alley. Lowry turns the corner, running up over car roofs and hoods. He lowers his gun and tries to draw a bead on Fouché and the gang. They've got Julie, and now they're running. Burnett appears behind Lowry. Lowry waves him in another direction. Burnett hauls one way and Lowry the other. Beauty salon. Old ladies getting their hair blued and curled when, bang! Fouché and the gang enter. Curlers fly. Screams. Lowry enters. He dives to the floor as Casper stops and fires. Bullets rip through the salon walls and mirrors. Lowry ends up under an old lady's dress. Exiting the beauty salon and stumbling through a crowded cafe, runs Fouché and the gang, mauling their way through tables and patrons. Lowry only moments behind, pushing his way through the same path. Fouché stops right in the middle of the intersection. He picks the first car that's headed for him, levels a gun on the taxicab, and fires 2 quick rounds. The driver of the car instantly slumps. Ferguson's seen this before. He's around to the driver's side of the car, pulling the dead man out and leaving him on the street. Casper and Fouché shove Julie inside and they're off again. But here comes Burnett, crossing traffic. He's got no gun, so he jumps aboard Fouché's car just as it gets into gear. The wheels spin. The car lurches ahead. Ferguson aims his pistol upward. He's about to fire into the roof when Julie shoves him. Gunshots ring out sideways. Bullets rip to either side of Burnett, and then Fouché stomps on the brake and Burnett tumbles forward and onto the pavement. Burnett rolls, making it onto one knee, but his other leg gives way. Fouché sees his chance and guns the engine. The cab barrels at Burnett, who's stuck in the middle of the boulevard, about to become instant roadkill, and then, from out of nowhere, comes Lowry, dashing out across the boulevard and snatching his partner from the deadly grill of the cab. The cab hauls by, leaving Burnett and Lowry in a heap of their own, both trying to catch their breath. "Don't ever say I wasn't there for you." The Miami Police Department motor pool. TAC teams and uniformed cops swarm around their cars. They're all waiting as Burnett and Lowry arrive in their unmarked car. Howard approaches. "It's about fucking time." "We lost the girl." "But you found the dope, right? So let's go get it back." A bicycle bell rings. Heads turn. Here comes a boy on his bike, serpentining his way through the maze of cars and cops until he gets to Lowry, Burnett, and Howard. "Which one of you is Lowry? I got something for him." At least I'm me again." His hand out. "I'm Lowry." From his back pocket, the boy extracts a cellular flip phone. He hands it to Lowry. He presses the power button, and almost instantly it rings. Yeah, this is Lowry." While dope is lifted and loaded from the open hold of the freighter, Fouché is revealed at the other end of the cellular call. "I have something for you to listen to." Fouché lifts his pistol and fires a single shot, intercut with Lowry jolting at the sound of the gunfire. Where the camera swish pans across to a very dead Elliot in the freighter. "That bullet just killed the chemist. Now I have but 4 hours left to make my deal. Fuck with my timetable, and the next bullet kills the girl." Julie is gagged and sitting on the floor, scared shitless. He's in a vice. Duty or the girl. Then, "You twisted motherfucker. Jojo, you son of a bitch. When I get my hands on you, I swear I'm gonna kill you." He hangs up. The snitch who tipped us into the dope lab turned out to be a bogus address. "Bogus address? How's this? I'll kill the little prick for you. That's 'cause you're already dead." He waves at the troops. "Okay, you guys, put him back in the lockers." En masse, all the cops act as if the wind had been knocked out of their sails. A low-down bar during the day is empty, save for the daytime regulars. Burnett and Lowry are in a rear booth. How did he know we were gearing up to go? It's like he's known all along where we're going to be and when. You know that once he sells the dope, he's going to kill her just like he did Max. 3 little angels. Julie kept talking about his 3 little angels. A barkeeper appears with 2 beers. Burnett automatically reaches for his wallet. Close on Burnett's wallet, where out pops a picture of his 3 children. "If she dies, I'm done with it, the whole cop thing." He looks at his kids. 3 little angels. Francine is at her file desk, looking pretty much the same as always. Same smile, same easy manner. Then the camera revolves around her and settles on the pictures on her desk. Her 3 little boys, including the one in uniform. The camera tilts to Lowry and Burnett standing over her desk, neither of them smiling. "Hey, fellas, what's the joke?" She gets nothing back. "Really, I want to know." Soon, though, the facade fades. Francine knows she's been caught. The ladies' room. Burnett holds the door while Lowry holds Francine. She's broken, crying, and giving up the ghost of her past. "It was a birthday party, after hours, just civilian staff, and We were drinking, and everybody, we all had boyfriends or their husbands. So you were alone? He was so nice to me. He said I was beautiful, too. I guess I wanted to believe him. Then, ashamed, she starts to shake. He took some horrible pictures of me. I don't remember any of it. I had too much to drink. I wondered if he drugged me. And later, he threatened to show them to my boys, my little angels. He said he'd pin the pictures up on the grade school bulletin board for all their classmates to see if I didn't do what he wanted. He wanted someone inside the PD? At first, it was about drug busts, dealers under surveillance. He'd steal them from me before we could make the case, and then, when the department gave air conditioning to Mr. Arona. Anything you can tell us about him? What do you say about someone who rips off drug dealers? A man like that ain't scared of nobody. Not the police, not you guys, nobody. He's the scariest man I've ever met. Yeah, but does he still trust what you tell him? Fouché is supervising the loading of the dope onto 3 canvas-backed military-style trucks when his cellular phone rings. He answers. Yes? Francine is on the phone with Howard on another extension. I have some more information for you, Mr. Fouché. A Florida power van inside a power plant. Burnett and Lowry are wearing headsets, listening in on the conversation between Fouché and Francine. He's surprised to hear from Francine. Yes, Francine? What is it? Miami PD called in the DEA task force. They know the deal's going down in 2 hours, so they've deployed agents in every point of entry. Airports, marinas, etc. Is that all? Yes. I'm very pleased, Francine. You're the best pet I've ever had. He hangs up. Back in the surveillance van, Lowry turns to Sanchez. Got him. Mabel says as long as he keeps his cell phone turned on, we could track him. Call Howard. Tell him we're going to need lots of backup. 3 trucks make their way through Miami. Ferguson is seated and staring across at Julie. Across his lap is a shotgun. She may be bruised and abused, but she's still got some bite. I forgot the formula. Big gun, big dick? Little gun, big dick? No. Big gun, little dick? Yeah, that's it. The camera zeroes in on Fouché's cell phone. The power light is green. Sanchez gives the update. They're turning north onto Orange Highway. We can make better time if we cut across the Biscayne Bridge. The van cuts across traffic, barely making the ramp, which swirls up onto the bridge. The dope convoy rolls over the camera. As the convoy makes a right turn off the highway onto an old tar and gravel track, the trucks roll towards an old airport, which consists of a small pilot's terminal and 4 or so hangars spread out over 10 acres. 2 henchmen for the buyer open the yawning door of this massive 5-story hangar to reveal a C-123 cargo aircraft. The convoy of the truck enters. The surveillance van is parked at the side of the road. Through a floor-mounted spotting scope, we see the last of the trucks roll into Hangar 3, and 2 of the buyer's henchmen shut the doors. That's it. That's where they're making the deal. Burnett swivels the spotting scope, panning left and right across the landscape of tall reeds and distant buildings. Finally, he stalls on a garbage truck and its 4-man crew rolling dumpsters. Fouché shakes hands with the buyer, upon which time one forklift begins to drive pallets full of cash from the open cargo door of the aircraft, while another drives pallets full of dope. 300 million, and very, very fresh. Too much to count, eh? On Julie, as Casper pulls her from the rear of a truck and handcuffs her to the door of a cab. Who's the bimbo? Simply part of another transaction. The operation moves swiftly. Dope pallets for cash pallets. Smooth, just like the original heist. 2 fuel trucks are moving in to gas up the aircraft. Rounding the corner from Hangar 3, here comes the garbage truck. Closer inspection reveals Ruiz and Sanchez at the helm with both Lowry and Burnett hanging from the sides. All of them wear dirty white jumpsuits and protective masks. The two buyers' henchmen stiffen at the sight of the oncoming truck. Their hands slip inside their coats to MP5Ks slung under their armpits. But the garbage truck veers and swings over towards two nearby dumpsters. Sanchez keeps a wary eye on the two bad guys, and Ruiz operates the hydraulics. Burnett and Lowry drop from the truck and do their best, working for the city amble over to the dumpster. Business as usual. They wheel it over and position it in front of the two lifting forks. The garbage appears to be expertly lifted and dumped into the truck. As the bin lowers, the gearing seems to get hung up. The hydraulics arm won't work, leaving the dumpster stuck in the air. Ruiz and Sanchez in Spanish blaming the other for the fiasco. Angry words. Finally, Ruiz has had enough. He tosses down his gloves and hat and begins stomping off, as if he just quit this stinking job. He's headed right for the henchman, his mouth moving and spewing and moving and spewing. The henchmen look to each other, not knowing what to think, ready for anything, when click click, guns cocked. Burnett and Lowry are right behind the henchmen, with guns at the base of their necks. Mouths shut, feet moving. Now. Walk! As the dumpster lifts again in the air, this time dumps the two henchmen into the truck. As the human garbage is deposited, the buyer buckles himself into the pilot's seat of the C-123. His crew shuts the cargo hatches, and he gives a pleased salute to Fouché. The engines turn over and the propellers move. Meanwhile, truck engines start. Loaded with cash, they're ready to go. Fouché gives the signal to open the doors. Casper and Ferguson open the doors. They give a good shove. Still nothing, so they bang and shout, "Hey, wake up out there, open it up!" One of the dumpsters is parked in front of the doors. No exit. Just as Casper and Ferguson give a helpless look to Fouché, the garbage truck barrels through the rear wall, instantly colliding with the left wing section of the aircraft. The wheel assembly buckles and the aircraft twists onto one wing. Fuel spills. Tossed from his seat and thrown against throttle, the engine roars. The tarpaulin rips, and a pallet of cash busts open. Money swirls inside the hangar. Henchmen are ready to kill. The cargo doors open, and then Burnett and Lowry pop out of an empty dumpster, MP5Ks in hand. They blaze the cargo doors and cut down the rest of the buyer's henchmen. Casper and Ferguson charge, guns blazing. Bullets rip across the dumpster, moving up into the truck cab. Ruiz and Sanchez dive and roll to either side. Meanwhile, the sparks ignite the spilled fuel. Move it or lose it! Burnett and Lowry climb from the dumpster and run. Casper and Ferguson have a clear shot. They level and aim, but kawoom! The fuel tank on the aircraft explodes. The truck drivers dive for cover, charging for the open hole in the wall. Inside the aircraft, the precious dope catches fire. Looking through the flames, shielding their eyes, Ruiz and Sanchez appear from behind. Remember us? The two bad guys turn with their guns, the flames igniting their already battered faces. But they don't turn fast enough. Both cops fire in unison. Ferguson and Casper fall. We pull back. The one aircraft engine is still roaring. The money is swirling and burning, falling from the roof like fiery rain. Easing through the wreckage, ever so cautious. "Julie! Michael!" Her voice echoes. Fouché has handcuffed himself to Julie. dragging her deeper and deeper into the hangar. The smoke is getting thicker and swirling with the burning cash. Burnett and Lowry signal between each other. They split wider, moving towards those locked doors. At the locked doors, he shoves against them in futile rage. Julie begins to choke on the fumes. Burnett and Lowry place their faces against their own sleeves. The smoke is thicker, swirling in waves. Fouché is shoving the doors, pushing and pushing. And then, Lowry and Burnett appear, 20 yards apart and closing, guns carefully aimed. Fouché pulls Julie close. I was going to fuck her and then kill her. Now it looks like I'm only going to do the latter. Either we OD on the air or the whole place blows. We're dying anyway. Let her go and you'll walk. You can keep the dope and the money. Just the girl, and we all get out of here. What if I don't have the key? He threw it in the... Fouché yanks. Shut up! It's gone. She's dead. Unless you move aside. Burnett eases further right, gun carefully aimed. His eyes are stinging. Lowry goes left, but he's lowering his gun. Fouché pulls Julie closer, gun at her head, looking to Burnett, while Lowry is nodding to Julie, nodding for her to... Drop, Julie! She drops. Burnett has a clear shot when the hangar doors swing wide open. Blinding light and noise. Helicopters. 50 cops at the ready. Rounds chambered, rifles leveled. Fouché, Julie, Lowry, and Burnett all have the same idea. They bolt for daylight as fast as they can because the hangar explodes in such a concussion it knocks all 4 of them to the dirt. The hangar crumbles. As Burnett looks back on the conflagration, oh, Sanchez and Ruiz. And then, Fouché with Julie. He yanks her back up onto her feet, wild-eyed. He's still got the gun on her. Lowry hands up for all the cops to see. Don't shoot! Hold your fire! Fouché twists Julie for all to see. The cops' rifle sights all glinting in the sun. I'll kill the girl! Fouché raises Julie's hand high in the air to show all of them the handcuffs, when, kapow, a shot rings out. The link is snapped in 2 by the bullet. Julie falls to the ground while Burnett and Lowry unload their clips in a crescendo of gunfire. Fouché crumbles in a heap. The eye behind the smoking sniper rifle is Howard. He reveals a pleasured smile. Swish. Then he turns to Sinclair, who stands only feet away. Investigate that, asshole. Julie finds her feet and runs to Lowry, right into his arms. He holds her tight, but she winces from a nasty cut on her shoulder. Ow, that shit really hurts. Stick around. I'll give you a bullet to bite. Finally, Sanchez and Ruiz appear, alive and well. Big grins, helping Burnett to his feet, brushing him off. Hey, let's go get our jobs back. The front door of the Burnett house opens, and all the little Burnetts come screaming out, Daddy, Daddy, the hero! Into the arms of their father. He gathers them all into one big hug. Daddy's home! Behind Burnett appears Lowry and Julie, arm in arm. The kids run to, Uncle Mike! Uncle Mike! Baby! Teresa framed in the front doorway, looking smashing, in the outfit Lowry picked out for her. Burnett ambles up to walk into her arms. They hug and kiss. Teresa tosses a wink Lowry's way. Mañana, partner. Peace. Okay, kids, pile in. And watch the leather in the windows this time. You got a real way with kids, Lowry. You see anybody complaining? Hey, where are the kids going? Don't you know? We got a new babysitter. She kisses him. You mean, it's quality time, Marcus. Burnett shuts the door on the camera. The screen goes to black. After the credits, inside of Lowry's condo in the bathroom, little Megan is on the potty. She catches Lowry as he passes. "Uncle Mike, I did it!" The end.